Oh, there we go. It's not like it really even matters all that much. How's everybody doing? Thanks for turning out for this one. I truly do apologize for the delay. I had full anticipation of being completely, hey, even maybe earlier than the regular scheduled time, but I appreciate you guys turning out for this, and I needed to make sure that I had every single reference available when it comes to this stuff. Like, there was absolutely nothing that I wanted to miss, so we are going to have a whole bunch of documents. We're going to have a whole hell of a lot of... I've got this YouTube thing in the background that's fucking throwing me off just a little bit. But no. We're going to be completely unfettered. We're going to be completely unfiltered. And it's going to be a little bit rough because, okay, I've covered this stuff from toes to titties, going all the way back to when the Daily Wire stuff first kicked off. I don't think it really touched on the whole Candace Owens spurging out thing, mostly because I just thought that was kind of Candace Owens being Candace Owens. But now that she has, well... it's not so much she inserted her... Well, actually, no, she totally did, because she lied about the entire situation, is now trying to play victim, siding with the leaking ex-wife, and I think that that's probably the best place to begin with all this stuff, is probably just simply watching the initial video. And we got, actually, Candace Owens is just nice enough, so... Maybe we'll start with the Candace Owens video. Let's start with the Candace Owens video. Jesus Christ, your boy should actually learn how to fucking speak English. But you can see all the tabs that are up front, and I think I might actually have it. For fuck's sakes, it keeps I'm fixing this right here because that fucking pisses me off. I do not want to have this completely fucked up. So, hey, you know what? Fuck it. We do a live. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to go ahead and I'm fixing this shit because this fucking pisses... Oh, that's a USB cam. I don't want that one. I want this one. Okay. Yeah. Because it's got the little fucking tag down there at the bottom, and I don't want that. I don't want it at all. Okay. I want this to look as best as... I want it to look perfect. Absolutely fucking perfect. And it pisses me off because the way that I have this all fucking figured out is that, yep, no, it all fits inside the border. And that's the entire reason to have this one right here. So, yep, there we go. That looks good right there. Okay, good. So, yeah. We got Candace's stupid face right there. Okay, I can't say enough bad things about her. I think that she is an entitled cunt. She is totally fucking talentless. And hey, man, now she wants to go ahead and throw herself right in the mix of this stuff because her channel is fucking dead. And you know what? She just wants to farm drama. I've seen this video. I've seen we're going to watch the Ring video. The Ring video has been broken down by a bunch of different people time and time again. And well, I watched it yesterday, and I offered my opinions on it, and then also noticing some additional context that's going to be in there, so yeah, we'll comb over all this stuff to begin with. We'll get caught up as to today, or well, I guess as much as we can for today, because I don't think anything new, unless you guys, feel free to just, drop that in the chat if I've been missing anything on top of that, but no, if, yeah, we'll catch everything up there, and then we'll run back and do the history over the Daily Wire situation to catch everybody up on that. I'm thinking about, because, yeah, this is going to be something, because Crowder's going to be, says he's going to be talking about it Monday. Right, I thought tomorrow's Sunday. Listen, everything's running together. I didn't have power for 3 fucking hours today, so it threw everything off. So, don't mind me for a second. That's why I'm just running late. But, hey, we're going to cover this at toes to titties. And then for the Landau situation stuff, which I just think he's kind of being a belly-aching bitch. But we might cover that stuff on Tuesday, because there's going to be some more shit with Crowder addressing this on Monday. I'll probably do a video on that on Monday. I would imagine so. And then, yeah, anything additionally that we need to add on to that on Tuesday. And then wrap all of that stuff together. Okay? Sound good? Sound great. And without further ado, I got this on 1.5. So if you guys are watching over on Rumble, shout out to you guys. You are the real ones, because your boy's over 1,000. If I had a fucking soundboard, okay, if I had everything else set up as well, that'd be the point in time where we can hit the air horn, because, hey, I can get verified over there. I realistically don't know what the fuck it means other than just having the nice little Rumble logo right next to my name. And you guys are great for that. And then still, just the continued growth on YouTube. It's fantastic. But Of course, if you guys were watching the stream that we did on Tuesday, the fucking channel got struck midway through for watching a Vice panel, commentating and adding commentary, transformative commentary over top of the fucking Vice panel. They're all over YouTube. People have been reacting to that shit. That fucking video's been out for 3 months, for Christ's sakes. And then, no, they strike the channel. Thankfully, because, hey, ya boy's here, so obviously I won that strike. So, if the stream on YouTube, if you're watching over on YouTube and it goes down at any point in time, in the link will be in the description. And if there are any mods in the chat, you guys can just go ahead. If Meme's in there, if Roger's in there, I haven't had the opportunity to take a look at the chat or anything like that. Ed, if you're kicking around, you guys can just go ahead. The moment it goes down on YouTube, I'm still going to be live over on Rumble, and that's where it goes. I'll just go ahead and kill it because I'm not fucking around. I am not fucking around when it comes to the YouTube channel. I take that shit incredibly fucking seriously, and if YouTube's going to be the big gay on me, well, fuck them. We can just go over to Rumble like we're going to be doing tomorrow with a Rumble exclusive stream, and that one's going to be on time. Unless, of course, you know, the fucking power in this shit city decides to go out again. Grand Prairie, love ya. You're dirty, you're filthy, you're disgusting, you're all busted up, and, you know, hey, if we got a third world power grid, well, I think Candace will be right at home. Oh, it's going to be such a fun evening. And once again, shout out to everybody who's tuned in for this. So, let's, I got this at 1.5. You guys let me know. You guys let me know if that's fine. But we have so much shit to get through. So, if it's intolerable, let me know. We can slow it down. That's totally fine. But I think for the video, I think for the security cam video itself, I'll probably slow it down. To just regular speed to add the additional context, because I know I gave my full breakdown on it yesterday, and it's like, okay, cool. She wasn't doing her side of the, she wasn't adding to her side of the relationship. So, okay, why am I supposed to feel bad for her? Oh, he's berating her. No, they were having a conversation. Sure, he was being a little bit bitchy and, you know, not necessarily holding frame like you would hope he would. But outside of that, yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that. I've had more heated discussions with my sibling, okay? Like, I'm missing something. But you know, Candace has got her own fucking opinion on this shit, so let's grin and bear it, okay? Like, if I call her a cunt, I call her a cunt. This video's never gonna get fucking monetized to begin with, so we'll get them completely out of our system by the end of this. This has nothing to do with race at all whatsoever, so if I say that I'm thinking of a certain word, it's not that one. There are two Edwards, people. People tell me all the time, and neither of them are any good, okay, people? We don't use either. Normally, Joe Biden, he's talking about the nuclear Edward. We don't use that one, and we especially don't use the other one. Again, nothing to fucking do with that at all whatsoever, so don't be thinking that way either. So shout out to you guys for turning out early on this one, and without further ado, what does Candace have to say?
So a bit of breaking news that just happened, and before we get to it, I just want to back up and tell you why we are discussing this breaking news, because it's occurred to me that there are some people out there who believe that to be a conservative, what it means is that we become tribal, and we defend other conservatives even when they do things that are wrong, that we don't.
And you just attack everybody because it's just, once again, your job. You don't provide anything. It's so interesting with all these Daily Wire pundits that they have up there. Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, who the fuck even knows what Michael Knowles was doing beforehand, but especially, it's like Daily Wire made its name off the back of Ben Shapiro. Okay, so he made his bones, he cut his teeth before hopping on Daily Wire. What the fuck have any of these people accomplished since going to Daily Wire proper? I find it very, very interesting that these guys, you know, just signed the big contract, accomplished nothing afterwards, and has continued to just ride the wave of banality, mundane content time and time again. But they sent their attack dog after her because, hey man, she's black and she's a woman, you can't criticize her. And then especially in Tradcon spheres, oh my god, you're Hilary Crowder going after a pregnant woman. And yeah, it's the Daily Wire who's taken super exception to this. And the moment, like, because I was doing the research for all the different clips that are come up, the moment that you type in Steven Crowder divorce, you get Sam Cedar, Kyle Kulinski, Ethan Klein, okay, Hassan Abi, all of the different fucking clones, all of those leftist idiots, Sam Cedar, okay, you get all of those fucking nitwits, just, oh, he's a bad man, that's not how you treat a woman. Meanwhile, they haven't touched a tit since '87, so fuck them.
don't discuss things that are horrible on our own side because we need to just make sure that we score wins in other ways. And that is wrong. So that to me is the exact opposite of why I have this platform. I am not trying.
Why do you have the platform? And I thought, okay, because, yeah, you had that View style roundtable talking show, which I don't even know if you do at this point in time. You were just trying to dunk on the topics and score points, especially when you had stupid Nicole Arbor, who deserves her own video afterwards. If there's ever been a bigger chameleon, well, actually, she's right there on the screen right now, but Nicole Arbor, especially when it comes to Canada, I've got a bone to pick with her, and everybody just seems to give her a pass. Fuck her.
Tribal. I want to expose things when they are bad on the left, and I will also expose things when they are bad on the right. Obviously,
except for if it's a girl who does something, then it's the sisterhood Uber Alice, which we're seeing right here in 4K. Well, actually, the only person who gets a 4K camera is Jeremy Boring. So
I have been interested in the Stephen Crowder saga pertaining to his divorce.
We know why. We know exactly why. Oh, fuck, I forgot
he
that
literally
clip.
inserted me into his divorce a couple of days ago. And
well, it's because you may or may not have been knowing a whole hell of a lot, and you put up this front like, oh, I just put 2 and 2 together, which we aren't going to watch that clip back again because my blood pressure can only go so high so many days out of the week. But, oh, I just put 2 and 2 together by just doing some amateur research on Instagram. I didn't know anything besides just running that back and forth, and then I asked my boss, and he's like, I had no idea either. Fuck you, you liar.
His wife and family are now speaking out regarding that video in which he told people publicly that his wife was leaving him. You remember this. He chose wrong, and he essentially made it sound as if he did not want his marriage to end, but his wife simply wanted to leave. Well,
yeah, that's, again, like, we'll watch that back. We'll run it back. And you know what it was? Yeah, it was him taking responsibility for the failed marriage. It's like, yeah, hey, man, I thought we could have something lifelong here, but hey, man, situations change, and I fucked up. She
has responded by giving video, and I want to prep you. I want you to know this is horrific video.
Giving video. Interesting. Give it to you as well? How long have you been sitting on this? Because it's just so funny, the timing of all of this, right? Rumble has been a rousing success, probably exceeding everybody's expectations when it comes to this. And then, yeah, at the same time, Daily Wire's banality just continues on. And then the Dave Landau, quarter bitch Garrett stuff at the same time. They're launching a show. Oh, coincidentally, now you're coming forward with all your grievances after everything's been a smashing success over on Rumble. After, yeah, The Blaze is launching a new Dave Landau, quarter Black Garrett's show. Interesting how all of this stuff is coming up. And then the most inflammatory clip that gets leaked by Hilary. It's Hilary, because of course, it's like, why didn't you see that red flag? Like, there's so many red flags in the relationship, and you married a bitch named Hilary. Come on, Crowder, man, you're not getting out unscathed on this one. Sure, you didn't exactly have perfect frame. Hell, you had anything far from perfect when it came to frame, especially in the one leaked video. And we know that there would be more arguments. This bitch has a fucking Rolodex of different fights that were out there. We all know this, especially given the fact that, yeah, this is a video clip from 2021, 2 years ago. It's ring security cam footage, which is totally fine. Shaq, like Shaquille O'Neal, Big Shaq does the big Aristotle, he used to have an enormous security detail, and then he's seen how good Ring cameras were, and that's what he put around his house. So we know that Ring cameras and Ring security cam footage is exceptionally high quality, which, hey man, we're going to see here in a moment as well. But do you know how long that footage stays locally? It stays locally without, a third-party archiver. 2 months. The default setting is 60 days. You can extend it. Out to 120 days. Like I said, 2 years later, it's set default for 2 months. She knew what she was doing. Because we also know that the argument that we're going to be getting to was the straw that broke the camel's back right afterwards, even though they don't have any footage of this, which I find a little bit dubious. Oh, he said, I'm going to fuck you up. But then we also know at the same time he was also talking to a divorce lawyer because he must have known something was up because, yeah, this is an argument towards the end of a relationship. It's not going to look good. It's definitely not going to be the couple at their peak powers when they're both on the same page. And yeah, like I said, I've heard so many different breakdowns of this video, which some of them are good, some of them were bad, some of them were somewhere in the middle. But yeah, I don't want to attribute malice to anything that you can attribute ignorance to, but it might have been a little acting on one side, especially knowing the fact that, yeah, you would have had to archive and bring up, and that's your best bit of evidence in order to, okay, you're pregnant at the same time, cool. So, okay, now after that 10-year mark, now you can get all of the cash and prizes, and now you can get a lifetime of alimony, and oh yeah, you've got kids, and certain phrases that you say there at the exact same time. Oh, okay, cool. So now you're trying to lay the groundwork that your former abusive ex-husband is mentally unwell. Oh, he's abusive and he's mentally unwell? Sounds like a recipe for getting primary custody of the kids. Just saying. It
is very difficult to watch. It's especially difficult to watch because in this footage, she is 8 months pregnant. And
see, look, it's just the perfect, it's the perfect scapegoat, and Candace perfectly poisons the well, like we've seen in the previous video as well. Oh, it's very difficult to watch. It's very hard to watch. She is pregnant, and it's like, okay, cool. So the moment that she gets a baby put in her, all of a sudden she's absolved from any responsibility. Interesting. Like, I used to work security. I used to work security at a jewelry store. Pretty sure I've talked about that extensively with a what was it, like a handful of different women that were out there, and a couple of them ended up becoming pregnant at different points throughout working there, and you're on your feet for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day at any given time, and they seem to be completely fine working a fucking job. Meanwhile, Hilary Crowder, I don't want to give the dogs medicine because I think that it's toxic. Can we even back that up? Can we even verify that? Or is that just somebody trying to make excuses? Oh, and that she also just can't get groceries. Oh, so she's not doing her side of the equation. She's not doing her side of the relationship. And we're supposed to go ahead and be critical of Steven. Oh, that's interesting, because if he didn't do his side of the relationship, that fucking house that you guys are living in, yeah, that wouldn't exist. That backyard with the pool and the jacuzzi, it wouldn't be there. Okay, so yeah, you hold up your side of the bargain, he holds up his side of the bargain. And remember, this is in the shadow of him going and getting titanium rods put in his fucking chest. So, no, she can't be held responsible for any of her behavior before this, which we don't even know what presaged all of this stuff. Maybe Steven will elucidate on it on Monday, but yeah, we don't know what led up to this stuff. We don't know if this is a history of cunty behavior, but of course, it's at the end of a relationship, so you can draw a couple of inferences.
And the video essentially reveals just how emotionally abusive he has been, and she is.
See, it's so funny because they can just go ahead and shift what it means to be abusive. Yeah, all of a sudden, like, abuse. Okay, if this was actually a difficult video to watch, not mine, it's wonderful because I'm adding additional context. But if the Ring video, it was so abusive. Well, she has to put the little, the emotional disclaimer that's on top of it. Now, if it just cut to a video of him chaining Hilary up to the grill and it's like, where's the wood pellets feeding her fucking uppercuts? Yeah, that would be a little bit different of a situation, but him sitting rather emotionally for most of it, just smoking a cigar outside, and she interjects in order to say, well, I'm just leaving, and I'm taking the car. And it's like, fuck you doing? Yeah, interesting. It's not abuse at all whatsoever under a traditional sense, but if you can go ahead and just add different types of abuse on top of it, then you can shift the meaning of abuse while still getting all the negative inferences that you get from using that word.
Is alleging that he has been emotionally abusive to her, and this video all but confirms it. So let's first get to the footage. I'm just going to allow you to watch it in its entirety.
Well, thank you. And like I said, I think for posterity's sake, I'm just going to play this at full speed. And this is what happens when you don't... Oh, you motherless whore. Okay, there we go. Settings. Good. And on normal, because you can tolerate Candace if she's at 1.5 speed. It's like being tortured, but if you can go ahead and speed it up, it doesn't seem as bad.
I drew a boundary.
Okay, yeah, that's the start of the video, by the way. And you're also going to notice, like I pointed out before, big jump cuts. Big fucking jump cuts. So, because I drew a boundary. No. Interesting. Okay. And again, she brings her purse to the backyard. Is that where the car is stored? Or did she know that there's the camera there? I think that's pretty obvious. and then also instigate a bit of a captured confrontation. Interesting thought. Just a thought.
I drew a boundary. No, you just did it. I drew a boundary of abusive and cruel. You are not taking the car. Because if you refuse to do wifely things, then I will go pick up the groceries.
There's no groceries. I'd be happy.
Steaks, wood pellets, my grill. I know it's an unreasonable request, but I'll go do it. How about you first? Hilary, how do you respect a man? Yes. How does a man respect? How does a man receive love and respect? No. How does a man respect? No, you're not taking the car.
Steven,
You're not taking the car.
Steven.
Yeah, that's one criticism that I've seen before. Okay. He's already lost frame. He's like, no, you're not taking the car. Well, I'm still going to be going out. But, yeah, as for the respect part of that stuff, let's see. Yeah, the other man, you see, the mother comes back. Yeah, he... Like, the way that it's said, it's really tough to follow. Like, we're missing a bunch of context in this argument in and of itself. Okay, yeah, like the way that it was initially reported. Oh, Steven Crowder's got a Saudi Arabia-esque interpretation of what marriage is. And it's like, you fucking idiots. Yeah, no, guys in today's day and age, okay, you're supposed to get into this unconscionable contract and you're just supposed to capitulate to a bitch until she just decides, I don't want to get married to you anymore because I don't feel like it. Ultimately, that's what ended up happening here, but yeah, him trying to assert dominance after the relationship, after the dynamic has obviously shifted. The ship has already sailed if it was, but no. Yeah, the responsibility in the relationship and the authority, well, it's clearly not what it set out from the outset, I guess. Just rambling at this point and just fucking let her play.
No. How does a man respect? No, you're not taking the car.
Steven.
Yeah, even just the way that she walks away, okay, I poured everything out, and she also, and it's like, okay, make sure that she has, the pregnant belly out, and I understand it's also Texas. It's, June 26th in Texas is probably hot as a motherfucker. It is 12:36. I can see it just slightly, just underneath all of the UI from YouTube, but yeah, and that's also important to notice, and if you guys watch this back yourself, which all of the links to everything that we might touch on, I got links to it in there as well, so if you want to watch it at this... if you want to watch it at your own time or just use this video or this live stream rather as an aggregate, feel free to do that. I provided everything that we're going to be looking at. So yeah, you're going to notice some jumps or some jump cuts as well. And people say that, yeah, the ring cameras are motion activated, but why is there a big cut? Why is there a big cut if you think that, oh, okay, cool, ring just cut out at a very important time because there was no movement? You got dogs, you got Steven down there at the bottom, you got Hilary that's right there gesticulating the entire time, and then not really moving too much in tonality range. Yeah, so it all just seems a little too perfect.
You're not taking the car.
Steven.
You are not.
Then I will ask them to pick me up. Would you like me to ask?
Who would you... then I'm just going to ask somebody, and then I can just tell them, and I can show them how stupid and how bad you are, and that's why we either need a second vehicle, or you just need to capitulate to me, okay? That's why I just need to continue to crawl and get more authority in this relationship, okay? So who do you want me to call in this situation? Who do you want me to expose you to, or rather, expose you as just a manipulative, evil man?
It's not a threat, Steven.
It's a threat. It's an underhanded threat, and yeah, if you could catch that, and yeah, no, there are tactics at play.
Get an Uber.
Oh shit! Get an Uber. Okay, yeah. I need the car. I just can't go out because I'm pregnant all the time. Okay, cool. Well, I need the car. You can take an Uber if you just want to decide to go out somewhere. Oh, fuck. No, but I'm pregnant. Oh, but not pregnant enough to press a button on a fucking app? Come on now. You really want to go out. All right.
Okay, Steven, I can't.
Oh, fuck. I can't complain and I can't expose you to an Uber driver, a random Uber driver. Fuck. Got me again. Now I'm just going to get emotional.
Steven.
Like, I can't
Steven.
go. Listen to me. Listen to me. You want to walk out right now? Listen.
And then starts holding, emotional manipulation.
I can't go to the gym. I can't go to my parents. I can't call my friends. I can't be home. You're gonna take the car and leave me here. Hilary, just think of how boxed in you've made me.
What do you need me to pick up? I'll get it. I'll be back when I'm back.
I'll be back when I'm back. Yep. As somebody who, okay, you guys can also peek this from the stream times and all that stuff. Like, okay, I got schedules that I'd like to hit, but there's only so many hours in the day. And I got so much fucking shit to do that I try to cram it in, and things need to be regimented. So if the power goes out for 3 hours, well, oh, for fuck's sake. So things end up getting a little bit hectic, and you get thrown off. But when you're a high performer, your day from the moment that you wake up is immediately regimented so that you can maximize and make it as efficient as possible. And yeah, Crowder, he's pretty fucking successful. You can just tell from the backyard right there. So everything is planned down to the moment. So yeah, if he needs to do something, okay, you're going out. Or when are you going to be back? Whenever I get back. Oh, really? Oh, okay. You think you can fly? You got wings. You think you can fly now, huh? Interesting.
No, that doesn't work either. You'll be back when you're back. That doesn't work either. Do you understand the difference between my life being set to the second and you going, I'll be back when I'm back?
Oh, yeah. Music? Birds chirp.
The only way out of it is discipline and respect.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Yeah, I wanted that. Okay. Emotional ploy. I can't get my way, so now I'm just going to start to cry. Yo, this is layer number 1 when dealing with women, okay? And I think it was Donovan Sharp that ended up coining the term. A woman's tears are only real when she's alone, and 9 times out of 10, man, it's an emotion. It's a manipulation tactic. I hate to sound callous and all that shit, but that's the fucking way this shit is, okay? The only way out of this is discipline and respect. He's going to elucidate more on the fact that there's really no respect left in this relationship and discipline. He was just talking about, okay, I've got everything just planned down to the moment, and you want to be all willy-nilly for reasons? Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah. The only way that you move forward is if you have a set schedule.
The way out of it is discipline and respect. It's the only way out of it, or we're at an impasse.
We are at an impasse.
Good. Because you can't have any discipline or respect.
Yeah, okay, yeah, so, okay, here's my offer. No, I'm not going to do that. All right, then. Looks like we're done.
Yeah, there you go. You throw your hand, you give up so easily.
I don't give up, Steven.
She clearly just gave up very easily.
You give up so easily? I just said the only way out of this is discipline and respect. You said, then we're at an impasse.
Steven, no, we are at an impasse, okay? I love you.
Yeah, this is where it starts to get very, very odd. Then all of a sudden you start throwing out the, I love you. Okay, my tears didn't work beforehand. Now, got to do different emotional tactic. Oh, fuck, you already see through that shit.
But Steven, he's sick.
Okay.
Watch it.
Yeah, okay, this is where, I think it was Myron, Fresh and Fit Myron, who pointed it out that, she's using some very strange terminology that's right here. I never want to jump to just somebody is immediately setting some stuff up, but the fact that, yeah, he catches her just like that, it's definitely odd, okay? It's like, I love you, but you're emotionally abusive, and your abuse is sick. What the fuck? By just saying that you need to adhere to a schedule, and we're supposed to be in this together, but you're kind of taking more? Interesting.
Watch it.
Yeah.
Watch it.
Yeah. Oh, it's so nice. You beeped out the fucking word. Oh, no.
I'm going to let go. I'll get what you need me to get. And I need some space. You need to just stop and get.
I need some space, which is, okay, of course, if you also know anything about female nature. Yeah, this was apparently the fight that was the end of it. That was totally the end of this relationship. Everything was all done. Steven moved out not that long after, got a townhouse in Dallas, okay. But yeah, when a woman starts saying that she needs space in the relationship, that means that I've already checked out of this months ago. It's just now I'm vocalizing it.
Maybe for a little bit, okay? I love you. I love you very much.
Does that sound genuine? I'm just wondering, okay? Like, I haven't had the opportunity to check the chat. Hopefully you guys are having a great time. I see that the audio levels are all fine. So at least I'm up top on that one. And like I said, there's so much shit to go through. I'll eventually be able to hop in the chat. So hopefully you guys having a good time. Everything's all great. I see Brian, you know, like shouting out likes and all that shit. And don't want to do the hack shit, but I also think that this breakdown is incredibly important. So whether you're on Rumble or you're on YouTube, engage how you will, okay? However you appreciate the content so far.
I don't love you. That's the big problem. I've never received love from you, and the fact is, when I go, look, I need.
See, that's why I thought that it was very, it was very telling that he shouted out respect to begin with. It's like, yeah, you haven't reciprocated. Like, he's obviously being hyperbolic by saying, you've never loved me. And it's like, I'm sure that, you know, hey man, you're definitely exaggerating a little bit, but at least at this point in time that there's been a considerable shift at some point, and maybe with the declassification, or I guess the release, the unsealing, there we go. This isn't official or any of that shit, but no, the unsealing of the different documents that are in there, be able to see where exactly that did occur. Because yeah, if this is the worst that comes out, if this is the fucking worst argument, this was the proverbial drag out, you know, swinging match that they had right here. I don't know how Crowder looks bad on this one. Legitimately don't.
You do A, B, C, and D. Just be disciplined about it. You go, no, but I love you more than life itself. Okay, put on some gloves. No, but I love you more than life itself. That's not.
See, now I start to understand what the whole gloves thing starts to mean, and I think I picked up on that at the end of this. Okay, so yeah, one of the dogs is sick, needs medication. It's her interpretation that it's toxic medicine. And it's like, okay. I think we've all probably seen just on, I don't have any pill bottles or anything like that. Okay, but yeah, let's just go with this. But yeah, the little disclaimer that's on the side. Oh, okay, do not ingest if you're pregnant or nursing or anything like that. I don't think that she's taking the medication for the dog, but hey, maybe she just, like every other white woman that's out there, you know, puts it on her tongue and then just has inappropriate kisses with dogs. If you know anything about that, you know, hey man, but it's kind of a comedy show too, okay? You know, white women and peanut butter and their big dogs, okay? But no, even still, yeah, she's worried about the toxicity for the pets. Okay, that should have been a conversation that was had a long time ago. Okay, I can't do this because, you know, it's something that's toxic. You're gonna have to do that. I would imagine that would have been gone over beforehand, but for her to just all of a sudden develop some aversion to that's another one of those respect boundary crossing things where I'm just not going to do anything and you're just going to have to do it. And again, if Steven actually had frame, which now I'm going to criticize Steven because of course, you know, tit for tat, he would just display higher value. He would just do it. He would start to zero her out. And then when she wants to try to work her way in, nope, I'll just do it. That's totally fine. And then that's the way that you make her want to please and at least display that she has. Because this is an argument over, you know, any sort of attraction, and he's clearly losing. He's 1,000% losing on that one. So he's trying to negotiate desire, which, if you're at that point in time, it's a fucking wrap. So that's why I think they both understand this situation. And it's like, okay, so this is just about over. So yeah, I don't know what we do from here, but yeah, no, just let it roll on a bit. I think I got most of the points out.
It's not fair. It's not fair, and it's disingenuous.
Yeah.
Hilary?
And he's also noticing all of the different words that she's using. It's a bit disingenuous. I tend to agree.
You're right then, Beth. Become someone that's unique, day in and day out, worthy of a wife. No, not as a wife. I didn't say as a wife.
Notice those cuts? Let's just go back, because I can take a look here. You can take my word for it. I think I'm pretty trustworthy, but I'm going to read the timestamp at the bottom. I just went back 5 seconds. So, 12:38:04.
Worthy of a wife. No.
Yeah, it went from 12:38. Yeah. 12:38:02. Okay. 5, 6.
Worthy
5,
of a wife. No.
And then it just skipped ahead 8 seconds to 12:38:58. 15. Well, he's in the middle of a soliloquy. What do you think? Because Hilary was the one who leaked this stuff out. What do you think that 7 seconds, do you think that it was necessarily clarifying that maybe she wasn't holding up her end of the bargain? And that maybe it was just selectively edited to make her look as bad, her look like the victim without having to bear any of the blame. But Candace, oh no, Candace has an axe to grind, so she's not going to bring that up.
Not as a wife. I didn't say as a wife. Hilary, come on now.
I'm not going to engage. I'm not going to engage anymore.
Yeah, and you can also notice a complete tone change this time around. And it's like, now I'm just done. So abusive, though, that, yeah, if he even bothers moving from the bottom of the screen, he's just sitting there airing his grievances, which kind of already lost at that point in time. All you would do is just say a couple of words. You wouldn't play into her emotional games. You would just, nope, okay. Oh, those are the car keys? Oh, those are mine. You are not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. Enforcing boundaries. Because you demonstrate, you do not explicate, which is what this entire 3 minutes is.
So what you need, I'll get you what you need. I love you. I'm committed.
See, that's where it seems like an act. Because she immediately changed from, okay, fine, I'm just leaving, text me what you need, and then all of a sudden, I love you, and look at the camera. No, she doesn't look at the camera, but it gets awfully close.
You?
Are you committed enough to do those things?
I'm not trying to.
Are you committed enough to do those things? You're not committed to anything. You're not committed to anything. You just said I love you. I'm committed to it. Walk the dogs. Put on some gloves. Walk the dogs. Put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to do those things?
Yep. Hey, you say that you love me unconditionally. Okay. You said that she probably also said she's going to look after the dogs while you're at work. Okay, cool. Look after the dogs. You're healthy enough to go uptown. You're not healthy enough to walk and look after the dogs. Very interesting. Very interesting.
Are you committed enough to do those things? Are you committed enough to do those things?
I'm gonna just
Walk the dogs. Put on some gloves. Yeah. Are you committed enough to get the medication the dogs take? No, you take that in.
Yeah, and then this is just alleged. Like, I was also trying to figure out, where does this whole by his own admission shit come up, okay? As the Crowders head inside, Steven gets angrier and angrier, and by his own admission, I don't know where this admission is. I legitimately do not know. I have no fucking clue, but if you say it, it must be true, right? Like, all we have is good faith actors with Ashar Ali, somebody who worked on Hillary Clinton's 2008 Democratic campaign and then also got paid from by the DNC specifically, and Candace Owens, who we always know engages in good faith. Yeah, they're saying that he screams, "I will fuck you up." But then we also know that, this is towards the end of the relationship where a divorce was coming out, okay? And Steven, both sides have also said, never got physical, okay? Hillary's saying, it got emotionally damaging. Okay, cool. So, I will fuck you up. And then they both went their separate ways. Does that mean in a legal context? Or, hey, does that mean physical? Okay? Maybe it got to the point. Maybe he got so agitated and we could see him obviously losing frame in this argument. So, yeah, maybe was he going to start throwing fucking shoryukens? Who knows? Who knows? But that's all that's alleged. 6 simple words. I will fuck you up. 5 simple words. There we go. At his pregnant wife, Hilary, who then flees their home with the car, which was the impetus of this entire argument. Yeah, can't hear anything.
So that is both heartbreaking and...
Oh, shut up, you well-poisoning cunt. God damn it. See, this is what I wanted to... But for some reason, that video got monetized yesterday. And yeah, that came out yesterday. Fucking Christ, I can't keep my timeline straight anymore. Make so much content. But yeah, no, at the same time, when I was biting my fingers and, just trying to... just yelling to the heavens and hoping for enough power so that I wouldn't be yelling that at the same time, it's like, yeah, no, that's exactly what you're doing. So, yeah. We'll play a little bit of this, unless, I should take a look at the chat. What you guys up to? How you guys doing in there? Shout out to you guys. Hey, Jen, Rookie, I need to, okay, add as moderator. There we go. If you're modded on Rumble, you're modded on YouTube, and vice versa. If I missed either, you guys just let me know. But yeah, Jane. See Jenny. Yeah, makes sense. Pearl Clutcher. Yeah, it was a setup. I love you. I'm committed to you. Who talks like that in an argument? Yeah, it's so fucking weird, right, Jenny? Yeah. And yeah. Dave Rubin and Candace Owens grifts. Yeah. Like feathers flock together. It's Dave Rubin. He had some fucking wonky ass take recently. I used to be a big fan. I used to be a big fan of all these guys, except for Candace Owens. I just never really liked her all that much. I don't know. She was always just kind of spurgy, even when she was going back on the Joe Rogan podcast. And that was back in the point in time that was like in that magical era of 2017 where, you know, Jordan Peterson was actually of sound mind and body and wasn't being puppeted by his daughter. Sam Harris still had a grasp somewhat on reality. The Weinstein brothers were relevant and Ben Shapiro was tolerable. Boys, 2017 seems like a lifetime ago at this point in time. But yeah, all of those guys, they all fell off. I've moved on. I don't know what they've really done in the grand scheme of things, but yeah, I know Rogan recently talked to Ric Flair. I might check that out because I do love me a good Ric Flair interview. But yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, she or her lawyers edited out all the stuff that makes her look bad. A bunch of jump cuts. There was another 45-second long cut in there as well. There's at least 3 cuts that I seen in there as well. So yeah, little dogs. He's fine. What are Candace Owens' motives? Vengeance or clout? Candace Owens, I don't know. Like, this is another one of those tinfoil hat situations where she's being used as the appropriate attack dog. Like, again, tinfoil hat. Like, you could also say that she, meritocracy, by virtue of her accomplishments. There we go. Instead of trying to extrapolate out meritocracy, but no. Did she get a big enough audience to score a reasonably large contract with Daily Mail? Maybe, potentially. She had just about a million sub channel. I don't know what the fuck she was doing at the time. And yeah, she was making all the appropriate connections with all of the different... she managed to work her way real close to, if not completely, with the 2016 Trump campaign. Like, she had connections. Did she end up getting... Did she earn that contract by virtue of her accomplishments? I really don't know. But then again, I haven't really watched her content all that much. All I know is that, yeah, she did the Blexit thing, which, shout out to her, man. Like, definitely, that's an accomplishment in and of itself. So when people say that, oh, she does good work, though, it's like, well, in that area, yeah. But then she also, was in with Ye as well. And yeah, so the Daily Wire was probably also doing the exact same stuff, and that's probably why they also cast in what's her nuts there, Brett Cooper. Yeah, because they just needed another diversity hire. But Candace Owens checks all the boxes. They don't have another token black out there, so yeah, she's there just so it's the perfect face to go out there and attack. And we're also going to go into the rest of the Daily Wire stuff. I'm not too sure how the rest of this stuff plays out. We'll watch it, and I got it on 1.5 speed, so let me know if it's a little bit inappropriate. But the Daily Wire definitely has an axe to grind. They thought that they had an in. Crowder looked at the sheet and is like, no. And then they also said at the same time, well, we know that you're going to be getting divorced, so we would hate for any of that information to leak out. Just saying. So do you want to negotiate a little bit further? Because we'd hate for any of your dirty laundry to be airing out there. So Candace, like I said, tinfoil hat affixed. She's the attack dog of Daily Wire because they don't have anybody else that could do that with the appropriate amount of shields in front of it. And Ben Shapiro, if you start to see Ben Shapiro really start to sink his teeth in there, then yeah, you're going to know the Daily Wire is probably taking this specifically purposefully. Like the rest of the commentary, it's okay. The rest of those fucking midwits that are out there, fat ass Ethan Decline, fucking 80 IQ Hassan. If you start to see them continue to do their shit, like, of course they're going to do that. I just can't wait. I can't wait for Ethan's wife to leave him. So that's the only time that I'm actually going to, default dance on somebody's fucking fat corpse. And trust me, there's a lot of space. So if anybody wants to join in, just let me know. So Candace has an axe to grind. Candace is butthurt over this situation. And we're also going to take a look at some other stuff as well, just to show how deep these cuts run. Cuts, not the other one.
and infuriating for me to watch. I cannot even comprehend how any man can speak to a woman like that, least of all when she is 8 months pregnant. And sadly,
Yeah. How? Okay, we watched it. I watched it yesterday. I've listened to it like 3 or 4 times. Oh, you can't talk to her when she's pregnant like that. Oh, okay, cool. So if she would just shoot a motherfucker, if she was to go next door and fucking yeet her neighbor, oh, you can't talk to her like that. She's 8 months pregnant. Like, you just got to give her some leeway. Her hormones and shit.
that isn't the worst part of that correspondence. The journalist that dropped this video is Yashar Ali. He dropped this as well as a Substack entry accompanying it.
It's very interesting. She doesn't want to point out the Democratic connections on that one because it's expeditious for her position. You see the double standard? You see, it's the exact same tactics. It's the exact same tactics of the woke left. They will do whatever they can. They will side with whoever will further their narrative. It's the sisterhood uber alles at play. It is women above all else. That's exactly what this is.
On the Substack article, he wrote, moments later, off camera, Steven Crowder, by his own admission, would lose control and scream at his pregnant wife in a threatening tone, quote, "I will f*** you up," end quote,
okay.
Which led his wife to flee their home. She then sent a statement, which I want to be very clear, this statement I knew was going to come out. I didn't know any of this information. I had no idea there was a video or there was any evidence. I did know that their family was thinking about issuing a statement, and Hilary Crowder did issue a statement. And I'm going to read you that statement in its entirety because it's important. I think it reveals a lot of the lies that Steven has been telling publicly to his audiences. It reads, Hilary is currently living alone in Dallas, apart from her family and support system in Michigan, and is focused on taking care of her young children. She is not prepared at this time to speak about her divorce becoming public or the misleading statements made by Steven about their relationship. The truth is that Hilary spent years hiding Steven's mentally and emotionally abusive behavior from her friends and family while she attempted to save their marriage. She was the one who was asking to work on their relationship to keep the marriage intact for their unborn child. In June of 2021, Steven left their home to pursue elective surgery. That's very important. I want you to remember that. I'm going to come back to that point.
Elective surgery? Oh, for his collapsed lung. Right. Oh, okay. Yeah. Elective surgery so that he could breathe. So that when his kids arrive, he doesn't have a ticking time bomb in his chest.
Hilary urged him to get the help he needed to address his abuse with the hope that their marriage could be saved and they could peacefully live together as a family.
Can you substantiate any of that stuff? Oh, but I'm sure with the unsealed documents because, oh, okay, cool. Oh, Crowder wasn't supposed to mention. He wasn't supposed to mention the fact that he was getting divorced. Everybody else was talking about it, including the Daily Wire, making vague allusions to it. But who's the one who dropped the video? So, hey, fuck it. In for a penny, in for a pound. Next week's going to be spicy if he ends up getting his wish.
Instead, Steven refused to do so and chose not to be with his wife during the birth of their twin children. After the birth, Steven bought a townhouse and left their home permanently. Yep. Hilary was not aware that Steven hired a divorce attorney and asked his assistant to cut Hilary off financially.
And? Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah. You want to end the relationship? Well, guess what? Hey, no fucking money for you. Sucks to suck. He'll look after the kids, but your family's so tied into this situation. Get them to look after you.
There is significant documentation substantiating these facts.
Yeah, that's wonderful and fantastic. But then also, who left right after that argument that we just seen on the Ring video? Oh.
Remember that portion as well, because it's another lie that Steven has told publicly. We hope that Steven will cease from speaking publicly about these personal matters in an untruthful manner. We also look forward to there being full transparency in the legal process, so there is fairness and accountability for the actions that caused the divorce and to ensure the outcome is what is in the best interests of the young children.
That's also very interesting. Oh, okay, yeah, we want transparency. We want truth to come out. Who leaked the video? Who leaked the video? Who leaked that video? Because they could have went with any other argument that was out there. Because, hey, it seems like they aren't shy about editing out certain context or certain damaging words to her client. Oh, okay, cool. Why not go with another argument if it was just a history of emotional abuse and damage and loud words and hurtful language? Why not go with an argument where she's not pregnant? Oh, you wanted the most sympathy as possible. Whether you're a stand-up comedian or you're a journalist, you lead with your best material. You fill the middle with shit that you're working on, maybe not the most perfect stuff, and then you close on a banger. If that's what you're starting with, you would, if there was a history of any sort of actual tangible abuse, you would have led with that, or just even hinted towards it. If that's the best that you got, it's not going to look good for you. if Steven gets his way.
First, I'd like to go back to that portion where she says Steven left their home to pursue elective surgery, because I know exactly what surgery she's referring to, because during my first backstage here at Daily Wire, we actually prayed for Steven and this surgery. So before I show you a clip from us on backstage, here is Steven describing that surgery, and it certainly doesn't sound like it's elective. Take a listen.
Yeah. I explained to you a little bit what it is. You know, a lot of people say, why are you smoking? My heart is actually great, but my heart doesn't work great. And the reason my heart doesn't work great is, long story short, because of a connective tissue disorder I have, and my chest is caving in on my heart. So I've got about, I'm at a little more than half of the blood flow that you guys have, ventricular output from my heart. So it's a mechanical fix. And I don't know, maybe I'll feel like Lance Armstrong, you know, like I'm on EPO after this, because I don't know what it's like to go through life with full blood flow. To me, I'm looking forward to it, not looking forward to the pain. Lance Armstrong, by the way, with the 3 balls, not the one. So yeah, it's overall a positive thing, and honestly, I've probably needed a little bit of rest. It comes in the form of having my chest cracked open.
Obviously, he had the surgery, and then his lung collapsed, and here is us praying for him, praying that he actually gets better.
Before we leave, I just have to, this one off the subject for a minute.
Actually, there's another Daily Wire clip that I'd like to play as well. That's nice. They're all, because they're all the good Christians and the good, you know, the dem boy in the middle there. Oh, yes, we're all going to pray for him. But actually, here in the sake of, I'm going to take this off camera for a second. Oh, don't really need that one. See, I changed everything around because I got the video capture one. I want the camera one. Hi, you can stare at me for a sec. Hi everyone. How's it going? That's fantastic. Shout out to everybody who turned out. Again, I knew this was going to be a very popular stream. It's a very popular topic, and a lot of people aren't exactly necessarily giving it the gas that it probably deserves. But shout out to you guys for turning out for this. Appreciate it, and I didn't even advertise it all that much. Because, well, yeah, I was a little bit better prepared, or if I had a fucking producer that I could just, you know, make respect, and no. Video date. I need to go to views. There we go. The election. Yes, the midterm stream. Because, okay, I remember in the first video, specifically in that first video, Candace Owens was making allusions to, I'm gonna put this back on stream. Hi, there we go. So yeah, when Daily Wire was on there, now I don't know necessarily for sure where the Daily Wire stuff comes in, but that's where I want to go on that one. Okay.
My point with Carrie.
See, this is the one point that I forgot. I forgot about this. Okay.
It's the way I've lived.
Yeah, that's
Santa.
nice.
Oh,
Gonna
be red.
Entertain yourself for a minute. That's what I want to say. Okay.
Fill out the.
That's the only thing that sucks on here is that you don't have.
Late.
Yes, 6 hours long.
He would have laughed.
Oh, there we go. That's what I want. Son of a bitch. Ended up.
Aces or hung out.
He's back
President
here.
Walsh, obviously, the resident Catholic.
No.
Diminish my point with Carrie. With what aces or entirely
gross.
will represent
CEO of YouTube and.
Okay, that's Ted Cruz. That's
all
close.
night. Corruption.
I swear to God, it's going to be important.
Hey,
It's mostly just debunking the claim
Hold on one
that
second here.
You know what I miss this shit? Yeah, I don't care what Fathead has to say either.
I've got just
Am I
with
missing
what's
it?
on. Yeah.
You know what I'm gonna do? Fuck that. Instead of just torturing everybody when it comes to that stuff, okay? Yeah, I don't really care. I don't really care that, Candace Owens was praying or anything like that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go off screen for a second, and I want to show you, because I made allusions to this as well, and this happened on Wednesday. Yeah, it would have been Wednesday, Womanizer Wednesday for Fresh and Fit. But yeah, when Fresh said, the Fresh of all people, Fresh knew, it's like, yeah, I knew months ago that Stephen Crowder, think about this, Stephen Crowder getting divorced. It was, well known. The people at Rumble and the people at the Daily Wire.
By the way, Crowder was in talks with Daily Wire about obviously joining their platform. Now, obviously, Crowder has a lot of value to add. He's very successful in his own right, and his content's very, highly viewed. However, Crowder had an issue. He was about to be divorced. So he knew from the very beginning that if he joined any company or got any money settlement, that it shouldn't probably be in his, maybe not his name, maybe not his company, maybe something different. So apparently, he told them what it was, and, they were definitely appalled by it, but that might have been used as leverage over his head. And as a result, he chose Rumble instead of Daily Wire. So it sucks, but that's divorce, bro. Like, it's never easy.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And people and the people over at Daily Wire knew this and we're threatening to go public with it.
Which is crazy, by the way.
Yeah, which you know, I'm glad that I think, you know, him coming out about this,
Yeah.
probably there was some pressure that they were going to put it out. So
He had to.
a lot of the times you got to get out ahead of things.
Yeah.
And he did that, and that's why I think why he's talking about this, because I guarantee you, if he had the chance to do this privately without anyone being involved, he probably would have done it that way. And I think that's a more intelligent way to go about it.
Yeah.
But in this situation, it probably seemed as though it was going to come out no matter what. So it's probably best to hear from him first before all the other media outlets go ahead and try to use it to, clickbait and say the ridiculous things or make allegations or whatever it may be. I mean, hell, right now, if I'm not mistaken, L3 Podcast is live talking about this shit, right? Which let me go ahead and address, eat then decline, if you guys know what I'm saying.
He's gonna go ahead and shit talk him there, but yeah, no, there's a little bit to that. Interesting, very fucking interesting. How? Yeah, it was an open secret behind the scenes, and Daily Wire was trying to use it as leverage. Oh, doesn't that kind of fly in the face that Candace Owens was? Oh yeah, no, I didn't know until I just ran some back and forth when it came to Instagram. Oh yeah, is somebody being dishonest? Candace, don't be dishonest. God damn it. Okay, so. Where do I want to go? Where do I want to go on this? Okay, maybe we'll just go to this for a second. Okay, oh, there we go. Okay, I can find this off stream. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. What do I want to do? What I want to do first and foremost is, well, that loads off to the second. So this is what everybody's seen. This is what everybody's seen first and foremost. Okay, yeah, it has. What do we got? 5.7 million views on the first of this thread from Yashar Ali exclusive. I've obtained over 3 minutes of video of Stephen Crowder being emotionally abusive towards his pregnant wife, Hilary. In a statement sent to me, her family says she hid the emotional abuse she was dealing with for years. Hell of a way to start your 5-point thread, right? Yeah, and then he releases 20-second clip, which,
No, we are at an impasse, okay? I love you.
This is what he decides to pick, okay?
He's sick.
Yeah, your abuse is sick.
Watch it.
Explicating, not demonstrating. Interesting.
Fucking watch it.
He says fucking the only time.
And I need some space. We need to just stop.
Yeah, that was wonderful and fantastic. That's what ends up getting the stick off rip. The family of Hilary Crowder says that she spent years hiding her husband's emotional abuse from her family. Interesting. It's not something that you ever have to corroborate, provide receipts for. You can sure as fuck say everything that you want. I can say that for years and years, YouTube has been emotionally abusive towards me, and I've never had an outlet in order to express this. And now, at this point in time, I'm coming forward with this. It's like, okay, cool. I don't have to provide any evidence to that, but it sounds like a good narrative. Full statement in a story. We've seen some of this 2 days ago. Crowder spoke about his divorce for the first time. Before he did, he informed his wife. Oh, he informed his wife's divorce attorney. Oh, interesting. Why was that absent? Because this came out before, or actually, because there's no timestamp, regrettably, on the whole. Yeah, Stephen the Monster Changed My Mind came out very, very quickly. Very, very quickly with this thread and his Substack article. As my report reveals, his wife's attorney asked him not to speak about it. Crowder did anyways. Yeah, because if you remember the initial statement, which I got that here somewhere. Oh, right, there we go. Yeah, so like we got the initial statement where, okay, let's cast our minds back. Let's cast our minds back to the initial announcement and see where Candace got all big butthurt on this all of a sudden, okay? Where she decided to interject her stuff, and I'm gonna find that clip. I'm gonna find the clip where she says that it's been yeah, because that's finally loaded. That's off there. So yeah, we'll refresh our memories here for a second.
Programming and Nick DiPaolo in third chair in a little bit, but needed to take a moment here to address some issues out there that are circulating. It's never fun, but well, I guess let me be clear here. I have been living with a proverbial boot on my neck for going on years now. Since 2021, I've been living through what has increasingly been a horrendous divorce. Now, let me say on the outset, to be clear, there's no infidelity, any kind of physical abuse at all on either side. And no, this was not my choice. My then wife decided that she didn't want to be married anymore. And in the state of Texas, that is completely permitted. It's been the most heartbreaking experience of my life, what I consider to be my deepest personal failure. And just so you know, my opinions on parenting and families have not changed. I've always believed that children need a mom and a dad, that divorce is horrible. And I still believe that children need a mom and a dad and that divorce is horrible.
I still think that this is an excellent statement right at the beginning here, okay? Taking all the blame, not ascribing any sort of motive at all whatsoever. We're having a divorce, keep my wife out of it, keep my kids out of it, okay? This is something that's being handled, but people are going to be using this information. They know all about it. He's going to elaborate on that in a moment, and over the course of the 3 or 5 minutes or whatever. I don't know if we're going to play all of it, because, hey, ended up finding the clip right there. So 153. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I ended up finding that anyways. But yeah, no, we'll just, because I wanted to play this anyways, we'll just run it through. And yeah, he's just outlining stuff, not really making any moves all that much. But it was apparently hidden behind the scenes. And I think that has a lot to do with the Landau stuff, which we'll get to in due time. Not tonight, though.
But in today's legal system, my beliefs don't matter.
Yeah.
In Texas, divorce is permitted when one party wants it. Period. So for well over a year, in the best interest as well as physical safety of my children, we've decided to keep this issue private and to resolve it privately with the appropriate attorneys, and what have you, legal jargon. And all this, one thing I want to be really clear about is certain. True north here is that my children are blameless, completely without fault, and so we decided to resolve these issues privately, as it's in their best interests, both emotionally and physically, to do so. Now, the other issue is, and this is something that I've kept private for likely far too long, many other people knew about this behind the scenes.
Oh.
Some, not all, but some of them in positions of power, influence, leverage, knew of this. They also knew that the safety of my children included keeping it private. So if you're familiar with the idea of extortion,
because, okay, if you know anything about Crowder, okay, he has a fatwa called on his name for mocking the Prophet Muhammad. He's not allowed into like a handful of countries. For everybody who says, I just get threats online, this motherfucker's had threats in real fucking life. Like, he's been assaulted when he does his Change My Mind segments, okay? Like, he's actually under attack. So to keep everything that he does, his public or his private life actually private, there's validity to him saying that I actually feel for the safety of my fear for the safety of my family, because he has credible threats on his life. So yeah.
Then you know the feeling well. Now, some of these threats were so thinly veiled that I'm frankly surprised you didn't all guess immediately.
Stephen has a lot going on. I guess is the best way to say it. He has a lot going on, and that should be clear, because people don't do stuff like this if there's not a lot going on in their lives. I would like to implore my audience and everybody that is paying attention to this situation not to condemn him, but to pray for him. Sometimes people need a prayer. Sometimes people need a scripture. Stephen purports to be a Christian. I am unsure at this moment if it is my place to say more than that. Maybe if I feel in further defense, something should be said, or maybe if I feel that the public has a right to understand certain.
If I feel in further defense, what have we ended up seeing? I think that's all we've actually ended up seeing. If I feel in further defense. So I found the timestamp that I need. More or less. Okay. Is it 5:53? Well, here. I can just do this. Okay, that makes things a little bit easier.
And he's in a mall that looks like Fast Times at Ridgemont High, as one does.
Oh my
and
God,
so
what
he
is the
goes there, and
autofilling?
I bet you the CNN producer said, look, it's safe.
Or is this just even a little too late? See, I found it. Okay.
I saw behind him a pale horse, and how you could hack the shoot, but someone who, and you're also, oh, hi, Candace. Okay, looking lovely. You make all these guys look like shit. So.
I legitimately just picked on the exact clip that I wanted. She made a big fuss about this. Oh my God, this Instagram. I got an Instagram DM that I thought was just so lascivious afterwards that I didn't even reply to. Can we run that back real quick for a second?
And Candace. Candace, you're the smallest from the depth of field, because I'm looking at a camera, and you're also, oh, hi, Candace. Okay, looking lovely. You make all these guys look like shit. So.
That right there was just so inappropriate, I guess, in text form. Interesting. Very fucking interesting. Jerry, was it Jerry in the chat? Sorry, I've been bouncing back between just about everything. I totally forgot to pull this clip up because I thought it was incredibly necessary, but you can't really play through all of it because it's exclusively on Rumble. If we were exclusively on Rumble, it wouldn't be a problem, but because he says some salty or some spicy things about 2020, I had to kind of tread a little bit lightly, but yeah. It's all very interesting now, isn't it? And let's see if we're actually missing anything when it comes to the Candace Owens horseshit that's here. Okay, maybe we'll
Our
just
pal,
skip ahead.
Steve Crowder, who makes the best ashtrays in the country, is
Truly.
in the hospital fighting for his life, and he's really come close. He's come close to the dark edge of things. And I just want to
Okay, like I've actually got nothing bad to say about Andrew Clavin other than his voice sounds like a cartoon character. When I was giving everybody a try that's around that table back in the cut, and it's like I found him to be the most tolerable that's out there, but he's the one that's kind of elevating everything. But okay,
say that crazy as he is, we love him and we're thinking about him. But we hope he makes it back.
You're a better man than I am.
Well, that's true.
I was actually just looking forward to the show being over so that I could text him and say, hope you don't make it, pal.
Actually, this is a real story. Last night I had to go for a drive because long story, but I had to burn down gas to take my car into the shop. And so I was going to smoke a cigar, and I was going to say my nightly prayers. And I thought, I should probably pray for Crowder, because he's in this. And I thought, what's great? I'm going to light up one of the cigars that Crowder sent me.
Yeah.
And Crowder, this guy was a complete maniac. He sent me these beautiful cigars, and I was like, oh pal, I'm going to send you some cigars right away from my humidor. Haven't sent him a single thing, but that guy,
Oh my God, this is fucking painfully
Elective surgery,
boring.
really.
Actually, we'll kill him.
And yet, according to his wife, this was an elective surgery.
According to his wife, the plaintiff in the divorce proceedings.
A cosmetic surgery, because Stephen didn't like the way that his chest looked because he had a sunken chest. It was not something that was actually required to save his life. And yet we see that same pattern of behavior. Stephen garnering a ton of affection.
Big if true, but
and prayers from his followers purporting to be the victim, when in fact the facts don't line up with his narrative. The second portion that I'd like to point to is where it says Hilary was not aware that Stephen hired a divorce attorney. This stands in stark contrast to what he told his followers when he said how hard divorce was and how difficult and horrific it had been, and how he really didn't want it, and just, Texas is a no-fault divorce state. What is the truth here? I don't know. Obviously, right now we have his wife's word versus Stephen's word, but given my personal experience with Stephen, I am very much inclined to believe his wife.
yeah, like him saying, you look good. Oh, okay, cool. So is that just the cell phone that you have really low self-esteem? But that's interesting because you also played the clip, which we also know going over the previous video as well. You have a really tough time just listening to the clip and being truthful about it. So it's a bit touch and go. He was saying that, I have like 50% capacity. I have 50% use when it comes to my heart. And then during the surgery, he had a collapsed lung and needed a rod put in. But, no, his wife, who's trying to get sole custody, who is going to, thanks to no-fault divorce, she's going to get a lifetime of alimony after that 10 years passed. Oh, guess what? Infinite, all the cash and all the prizes going forward. Very interesting that she would just say, nah, it's a cosmetic thing. That's why. Excuse me. We'll play the statement afterwards that Stephen said, the last piece of content that would have came out.
Now, I'd like to get into some other portions of this article, which I think are really important. The writer has a bunch of audio files and text messages that were sent to him that he was able to review. He writes, in audio files and text messages that I reviewed, Stephen Crowder admits to some of his faults, which include a volcanic temper, repeatedly, and at times regretfully. But according to sources that I spoke to who are familiar with their relationship, Crowder's admissions often came after a sustained period of mental and emotional abuse, and he didn't seem to be able to control his impulses. That, again, is something that I have seen personally. Very bizarre, but he would insert me into a divorce announcement and purport that I somehow extorted him. It's very bizarre in the way that he attacked the Daily Wire.
Yeah, and all of that stuff was supposed to also stay quiet. Oh, okay, cool. But again, if he reviewed any of that stuff and it was so terrible, he's got a volcanic temper. Oh, he flies off the handle like he did in that video that we watched where he stood up from the bench. He didn't even ash the cigar. He's got a temper, though. I reviewed audio files and I reviewed text messages. Does this... sounds an awful lot like something that we were watching, and if you guys were around the channel at the time, which there's a good sample size of people, and I'll hopefully be able to take a look at the chat here a little closer going forward with a couple of the other clips that I want to play, just to show you how deep this divide between the Daily Wire and Crowder goes. But if you guys were around the channel, and like I said, I'd like to know when you guys stumbled across the channel. I just want to know for reference, so if I don't need to keep bringing stuff up, I don't have to. We were watching the Johnny Depp Amber Heard stuff, where we had text messages, we had audio recordings. We were told about them. We were told that, oh my God, Johnny Depp is an absolute monster, and listen to these audio recordings where he is drunk on an airplane. All right. Look at these text messages where he hilariously calls his future ex-wife a floppy fish market. Shit is still fucking hilarious. And What about the other audio recordings? Because I'm sure this wasn't a one-way street where she's yelling at the top of her lungs. I'm talking about Amber Heard here for a second, or releasing one of the most spine-tingling, skin-crawling, evil laughs that I have ever heard a woman make. I can still remember it. I still remember when it was played in the court when I was downstairs. I was doing some leg raises, okay? Just training in my little collection of gym equipment. I was just downstairs raising my legs, and then all of a sudden I hear the it's like, yo, that shit is straight out of like a Disney villain laugh. It's like, okay, cool. Well, we know Amber can't act, but she can tap into that evil sense. She could definitely have a future in voice acting. We'll see how she does in Aquaman 2. But no, hey man, Hilary kicked open the door by releasing that Ring camera footage. So we're going to see the other side of this, because yeah, this is, once again, these are statements that are written by Dem Ops, the top op, and Hilary Clinton, same fucking shit. Hilary Crowder's representative, spokesperson, lawyer. So of course it's going to be in the best light possible. We've seen the evidence so far. It's fucking shit. There's nothing to it.
And there just seem to be a lot of signs that he is not able to control his emotions.
Yeah, there seems to be. You haven't provided any of them, but if you just keep trolling the public. Oh no, hey, we seen all the stuff, and oh boy, it's terrible. And oh, that surgery that he had where, hey man, he had a collapsed lung, and he's going to be releasing all of the medical charts, and we'll get to that in a moment. But no, he's going to be releasing all the medical records, which they're his, so really it doesn't much matter if, he just leaked something that's out there. You want to say that it was cosmetic surgery because he didn't like the way that his chest looked? We can probably take a look at old Instagram posts and see if his chest was untowards, but all right, that's a weird one.
And so the question that I will ask is, how many people are going to allege abuse from Steven Crowder before we listen? Before we stop saying he's one of us because he says things that he agrees with? We purport that we are the party of family values. How can you look at that video and defend him in any way? How can you look at that video and not roundly condemn this and say this is not something that actually represents the things that we believe? The writer goes on to say, like so many things in his life in recent years, Crowder's temper and paranoia led him to destroy his relationships with Sir Shapiro, Boring, and others at the Daily Wire when he posted a video on his channel suggesting that the Daily Wire, without naming the company, was attempting to align itself with big tech by mentioning in their initial offer to him that if...
Oh, she really didn't want to read that part, and I think that's a good it would have been a good transition, but I also want to put a capstone and play Crowder's announcement to that one, because we didn't actually I didn't play the video, I just read the statement afterwards. But
I commented on my ongoing divorce on Tuesday, requesting privacy in the best interest of the family, but also by court order agreed upon by all parties. Look, broken marriages are ugly, and in them people do ugly things. Myself, of course included, I would never claim otherwise. However, due to recent misleadingly edited leaks to the tabloid press without context and not subject to consequences of the court, well, if not privacy, the next best option is truth. So today, I have filed a motion to officially unseal all files as they relate to the matter of legal record. Finances, relevant medical records, including mental health history or evaluations, depositions, and any motions or sanctions from the courts of Texas. I will not be leaking private marital information to the press, but if the privacy agreements are not respected by all parties, I will address all that is a matter of irrefutable legal record in full context next week.
Yep, releasing all of the documents, including, what do we got? Press conference, no privacy. The next option is truth. Yep. Unseal of finances, relevant medical records, including mental health history or evaluations. And then, Candace had the audacity to say that. Oh, that's alluding to, I think it was the Twitter post. I got that bitch fucking muted because I don't block anybody on Twitter. If you want to watch, if you want to follow, that's totally fine. But I don't have to engage with you, so I just mute people. But that's only people that I get into scuffles with. And normally I just shitpost on Twitter and Twitter's a weird one. Haven't quite figured it out or anything like that. But hey, man, sometimes I got spicy shit to say on things. But if I see Candace Owens pop up on my timeline, I know that I'm not going to be in for a fun time. And I curate my reality appropriately. So guess what, bitch? You're fucking gone. But she was right after this got released saying that, oh, by saying that you're including mental health history. Oh, well, that means that you're just trying to allude to the fact that Hilary might have a mental health problem. That's interesting. That's very interesting that you would say that. Meanwhile, you were just stupidly reading, but at the same time, you know, because you said that, oh yeah, Crowder called out Daily Wire first, and then also saying that, oh yeah, he alluded to him without saying it. It could have been fucking anything, because I seem to remember when the video dropped it the first time, which, it's very interesting. And this boy right here is the first one. It's the first shot across the bow, and didn't mention anybody. Speculation was running wild. It could have been from anybody. It could have been from Fox to a new startup. It could have been Daily Wire. It could have been something from The Blaze. He didn't say if it was anything that he was negotiating. He didn't say if it was anything, you know, that he was going to be taking seriously, other than the fact that these terms are nefarious. I don't like them. You wonder why conservatives just never seem to really make any ground? Well, because of terms like this that I've seen across multiple different offer sheets. So it's been a while since I've seen this. I remember seeing it when it first came out, and well, it's about time to run this back, because this is where it all started. And then Candace interjected herself right afterwards. But without further ado, let's start right from the beginning, shall we? Because I think we got all the divorce stuff, at least what we have right now. I'm going to be very interested to see what comes out on Monday. So I don't think we're going to watch all of this, mostly because, yeah, it just goes back and forth, and we'll get the relevant points. But yeah, we got some clips.
So, stopbigcon.
Oh, and one thing as well, it's like, like I said, it's been tough trying to go through both chats, but huge turnout on YouTube. And then the fucking staggering turnout on Rumble as well. Like, we've got just about 100 people across both. Actually, yeah, we do have 100 people across both. What the fuck? Yo, man, shout out to you guys. Thank you very, very much. Yo, man, thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Mods in here are fantastic people. Hop in the chat. The reason I do these streams is so everybody has an opportunity to engage with one another. And yeah, this isn't possible without you guys. So I just wanted to make mention of that. That's fucking wild. Absolutely wild. Thank you very much.
.com now exists to begin with. It's been a while. Either this has to stop, or I'm going to have to stop. Either this, what I'm about to discuss, has to stop, or I don't know. This may just not be for me anymore. So let me explain. Give me a few minutes of your time, because context matters here. I ask that you don't skip ahead. It won't take very long. This has been a long time coming. This is a conversation that I've actively avoided, sidestepped, and I've hoped and prayed that it not be necessary behind the scenes for a long while, but that's no longer possible. So if you've watched for the last decade, you know that I've always made it clear that we here at Mug Club are in the business of serving you, the viewer, you watching, listening right now. I've also made it clear that I wouldn't be in the business of attacking other conservatives, regardless of disagreements or personal issues. And I've always explained my logic was relatively simple. I believe that the world was better with more voices out there rather than less, regardless of minute differences, considering the magnitude of the battle that we are genuinely fighting for our country right now. But for the first time, I have to say that I believe many of those in charge in the right-leaning media are actually at odds with what's best for you, the viewer, the customer, and more importantly, the country.
So what you can glean from that is, okay, maybe he's just throwing the entire right-wing establishment under the bus. Okay, maybe he's seeing something that's wrong with that, and yeah, okay, now he's going to propose something different, but it's kind of weird to watch this back, because it's been a long time since I've seen it, but this is the most cordial he gets. And after, you know, slings and arrows start coming from people that, he doesn't name, and, you know, keeps rather high levels of anonymity for everybody involved. Like, before Tuesday, who the fuck knew that this dude was going through a divorce? Wild, but no, he has a pretty good track record of outside of the divorce, okay, outside of that relationship, if at least on camera, not being all that emotional. Can't say that about the Daily Wire side of that stuff. Very interesting.
We here at Muckle, we thought that we were all in this together, that we were fighting the media, entertainment, industrial complex. We thought that we were all genuinely taking it to big tech. But too many of those in charge of the big conservative platforms are verifiably in bed with them. Big tech is in bed with big con. The people you thought, the people I thought were fighting for you, a lot of it has been a big con. Now, I'm specifically avoiding naming names or going after individuals in this video because I genuinely hope that those I'm addressing, and you know who you are, have a change of heart. It's never too late to do the right thing. Guys, this is a genuine plea. We can all do better. We can all do better. It doesn't have to be this way. And please, don't make me have to provide receipts. Now, to the others out there who have now been able to verify.
That's also very interesting. Okay, yeah, because had that leaked video from his wife, and it's like, don't make me provide receipts. And now, well, hey man, don't make him provide receipts because, well, yeah. I know a bunch of people are voicing their grievances. Maybe it's just a couple. Maybe I'm just, spot reading because I'm not quite as engaged with the chat as I'd like to. It's a one-man show, for fuck's sakes. But no. Yeah, you guys are saying, oh, you got certain grievances with Crowder. I guess I didn't lay out my grievances in the beginning. I think he's about as funny as they stroll through the child's burn ward. Like, it doesn't really hit the same. The shit that I have, I've got some problems with him when it comes to the Landau situation. Like, he kind of poached him directly underneath the nose of Anthony Cumia. Don't really like all that, okay? Is he a bit of a control freak? Well, he's also a very high performer, so yeah, if you're not on that level, if you're not going to be a running mate, get the fuck out of the way because we got a race to run. But yeah, when it comes to him, like, he got a big amount of respect for me, especially in the stuff that he was doing after the election in 2020, like going to the different locations in Nevada, showing that people voted from this empty lot, huh? Interesting. And then, yeah, Michigan as well. The actual stuff that he does on the ground. Like, a lot of people like to claim that, oh, we do a lot of good stuff. You can't criticize me. I do good stuff. From Eliza Blue to Jack Murphy. That is their immediate defense. You can't criticize me. I do good stuff. You can't criticize her. She's pregnant. See all these shields that are out there? Crowder, yeah, well, not necessarily the funniest guy. He likes to put everything behind the guise of, we do a comedy show. Normally you'd get chuckles from a comedy show, but comedy is subjective, and I think he does an exceptionally good news show, but he complains a lot as well. First thing, like, saying that, oh, I was a little tired, and I hate the word tired. It also harkens back to, there's a really good video, and if, sidebar for a second, sidebar on the sidebar, but, there's a video by PBD that says that, buddy, I never use the word tired, buddy. Buddy, it's a loser's word. You don't say that. So whenever I hear somebody say that, oh, I'm tired, and all that stuff. If you have excuses as to why you can't meet some shit, okay, fine. Don't make it a habit. An excuse is required for one fuck up, not for a series of fuck ups. A series of fuck up means that you don't have respect and discipline. Oh my God, see how we work that all back together? Holy.
Have been locked into exploitative contracts that I have the luxury of not having to sign, which is why I'm doing this. Those of you out there who've been locked into this and you know what I'm talking about, stay tuned. I've got something for you before this video is done. So there are a few points to address. Now, many, but not all of the suits running the business of big conservative, big con, at best don't share your values and at worst are taking advantage of your good graces. And as I've experienced it behind the scenes, I've watched our country be harmed as a result.
Oh, for one thing I'm just going to mention from the chat, because now I have an opportunity to hop in there as well, and he's just kind of outlining some stuff, and maybe we'll just jump ahead a little bit, because whatever, okay, we already know this point, we know all of this stuff, and he doesn't say Daily Wire. Like, I can show you guys a transcript here, okay? Like, this is the way, and not in the game Mandalorian way, but this, if you remember hearing something in a YouTube video or a live stream or something like that, all you need to do is just go down to these three little the little ellipses that's right there that just drops down more things. All you need to do is just go to show transcript, and you can just type in the find function, and we can go daily. Okay, and then yeah, you could take a look. The only thing that we could go back up to, because yeah, Daily Wire is just in the tags. That's it. There is no other mention of Daily Wire link out to our offer to Steven Crowder. I have that one queued up as well. It's a 53-minute long video. We're not going to watch all of it because Jeremy Boring's an asshole, and he definitely earns a surname. But as you can see in the entire video, you can get con, just to show you that it's not fucking up, 118 different times. Yeah, in the transcript itself right there, yeah, you can see con. So, yeah, that's just also for your guys' own efficacy, and that's why I just can sometimes, if I remember to pull up a video at the same time, that's why we can go to the immediate timestamp when I recall something, and oh, fuck, is that still there? Anyways, but yeah, no, now you learned something. Don't say that you don't learn anything when you come just drop by a live stream.
So, Mug Club. Professionally, it's meant everything to us here. Personally, too, but professionally, you are the entire reason for your ability to create this kind of content truly independently for the last 6 years. When I started doing, right-leaning, like comedy entertainment videos in 2009, maybe it was 2008, I really didn't have a plan. I didn't know the blueprint because there was no blueprint. I didn't know the ceiling because no one with this kind of content had ever really even tried it. It was you, Mug Club, you watching, supporting, who created the ceiling. And you made it clear that all of you were going to keep raising it. All I knew back then was that I was a conservative, I was a Christian, and there's nothing out there for someone like me. Not on cable, not on radio, certainly not on YouTube.
And now we can add YouTube to this, but he's talking in 2009 when, yeah, YouTube, I think I might have had my personal account that I use just on YouTube. Like, I might have signed up for it by then, but the quality of content, like, fuck, you could only post 10-minute long videos at that point in time. Live stream, yeah, that wasn't a thing at all whatsoever. So yeah, the way that YouTube did shit, like, YouTube was fun as fuck back then, but yeah, no, it's made huge advancements, and people who think like us, people who like the type of content that we do over on this side of the internet, you can barely find anybody with common thoughts that are over here. Like, I can probably list on one hand the amount of content creators that I actually like, that I agree with on more topics than I don't. Like, you're a child if you only listen to people that you 100% agree with, okay? Sometimes, you got to take the good with the bad, and if the bad outweighs the good, then maybe you got to decide that it's not for me anymore, and then you just go somewhere else. But yeah, if you agree with somebody 70-80% of the time, yeah, that's totally fine. I think it was Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers who came up with this quote, and it's actually fairly relevant, and it's oh, excuse me for a second. Ugh. Sometimes, just have a moment, get an emotion. No. But no, you don't agree with anybody. Like, you just stop saying that. It's very dumb. It's very reductive, because you don't agree with 100% of anything anybody says. Your parents, your friends, your family? No, of course not. So, grown-up people, you disagree with people on things. So yeah, if you can find common ground on things, fantastic. You can eventually come to the truth, but you need to be principled in your decision making. Okay? If you share principles, that's fantastic. The way that you accomplish those, that's where you can figure out, that's where there's some leeway that's out there. But if you have a cabal of people that are, not all that motivated to make changes, okay, not in the business of, banding together in order to advance, I guess, for the lack of a better term, an ideology, a thought process, trying to find the truth from a side of the internet or from a side of society that is wholeheartedly underrepresented. Okay, cool. If you're trying to go out there, you're trying to do something like that, and you think that you have brothers in arms, but then when you realize and you take a look underneath the hood, oh, you're just in it for money. Oh, okay. And that's one of the faults that I have, okay? Because whenever I'm doing deep dives and taking a look at certain situations, the first thing that pops to mind whenever I'm investigating somebody's motive, I never attribute money. Like, that's the last thing that comes to mind, okay? I'm just trying to think. It's like, okay, were you crossed in the back? Is there something in your history? A business deal go south or something like that? Like, that's the first thing that I go to, just logical things. I just never think that anybody's, grifting or, just doing it for the cash. Like, that's the shit that Hassan and, the fat ass Triple Chin, or I'm sorry, H3, that's what they go for. Okay. That never comes to mind. I don't ever want to attribute that kind of malice to somebody. I can think that they're misguided, but it just seems, it seems wrong, and that's what Crowder was finding out back in, this was January, right? Yeah, back in January. That's what he was finding out in real time, that, I thought we were trying to give a voice to the people that go underrepresented, the people who take a look at the banal opinions that are put up on Fox News and go, that's not me. That partially me, but it's about 40% of what I believe. Oh, okay. Now, then you go online and then you start to just hear the exact same stuff, and then it's all interjected with a whole host of ad reads. It's like, what's the difference? I got nicer chyrons on Fox News. Fuck it, I'll just listen to that absolute nonsense. So, yeah, you purport to do one thing. You purport to be all about truth, honesty, and a conservative future, but in actuality, it's easy truths, milquetoast issues, and a whole big bag of fucking cash.
And back then, that was really the only video platform. Live streaming wasn't really even a thing. All I wanted to do was to set out to create the kind of content, the kind of show that I always wished had existed when I was growing up. And I hope that there would be enough of you out there like me. Here's the thing. I was told that there weren't. I was told by the powers that be that you didn't exist. I was told that the only way to make a living in this business was to cater to older conservative generations, and that comedy, that entertainment, that edgy quote-unquote content didn't work on the right side of the spectrum. An entertainment show would never work. Yeah. You, all of you, are the only reason that we here were even remotely vindicated. And Mug Club sealed it. I remember exactly where I was when I thought up the idea of Mug Club. I remember...
And I bet you Ben Shapiro remembers the exact same point in time where he thought, "Ooh, I could just go ahead and sell a tumbler with leftist tears on the side of it, and it's totally different. It's a totally unique trademark away from Mug Club. No, it'll definitely sell a whole bunch. You know, it's a little bit too on the nose if I sell yarmulkes with Daily Wire on them."
Who I was with. I remember what I was eating. I remember why. I could see the writing on the wall back then, the big tech censorship on the horizon, the diminishing advertising revenue day by day, and I knew full well that demonetization from these platforms, it was inevitable. But I wasn't really sure that this would work. At that point in time, getting anyone to subscribe to anything was pretty much impossible. Everything on the internet was basically free except for pornography. Even, Netflix, the only player in the space at the time between shipping DVDs of Poltergeist 3, they were struggling with online streaming. But I found a great partnership back then, a partnership with a company called CRTV, which later purchased The Blaze and used that name going forward.
I've got to address a couple of things that are going on in the chat, and like I said, we're probably going to jump ahead a little bit until when we start looking after the contract, because I think he says some spicy things towards the end of this stuff. But over on Rumble, you guys are talking about the one car situation. We don't know for sure if it's one car. Maybe if somebody has more context on that, you can elaborate on that, because I don't know for sure if they have one car or not. And even if they do, I've seen some other stuff that... oh, sorry, she's not on the insurance company car, which, depending on different payment structures or anything like that, that kind of might make sense. But then at the same time, we don't know if there was a car in the garage or getting fixed or anything like that, or getting repaired or something. So it could be a multitude of things, or he just wanted to have one car. Could be as simple as, that's my decision. We have one car. Okay, you can pick the car. Okay, I will give you that decision, whatever you think is appropriate. Or maybe they were in the process of getting another car because they were about to have twins. So it would make sense to get a four-door, because it was just them at the time. So we don't know the entire situation, and okay. It's a little weird that, somebody who has a bunch of money, doesn't have two vehicles, okay, but frugal, regimented man. I'm not going to hold that against them. It's odd, but okay, whatever. And I wanted to address that. What else did I want to I seen a name. I seen a name that I haven't seen a long time in the YouTube chat. So, Conspiracy Theorista, if you're still in the chat, shout out to you. Because I said, okay, let me know when you guys first discovered the channel. I remember talking to her when I had under 100 subs. So shout out to you for coming back around. It's been a long time. Hopefully I hope everything is well. It was very good to see somebody that I recognize from way back years ago at this point in time in the chat. Shout out to you.
And on election night, 2016, so many of you signed up at the back end of our site crashed, we couldn't handle it. And it only grew from there. Now, I want to be clear about something. This video here, it's not about the Blaze. When they were purchased by CRTV, the company's goals, their vision, simply grew further apart from mine, from ours here. It just wasn't the right fit. I wasn't thrilled about some things, and the handling of Mug Club leaving, and that's why we launched mugclubforever.com, where you can sign up just to be able to reach you. This really isn't about that, so I want to create some separation here. Business relationships end all the time, that's business. But and all monetized. And keep having cocktails. Okay. All of these years, even after all this time, after all of you have voted with your dollar. and your viewership and your support. You've shown what's possible.
So this is after he went through the contract and, went through all the minutia of, okay, 5%, 10% that gets taken off. And then, looking through the contract itself, any identifying markers that was on there, that is just completely taken off. And like I showed you, never said Daily Wire. The only time that he said the Blaze was, right there at the beginning. It has nothing to do with the Blaze. This has to do with conservative offer sheets that are sent around.
Possible. In supporting this, the largest show in the conservative movement, bar none, just to be clear. And I don't often advertise that. I don't lead my show with that. I want the content to speak for itself. But I also realize that you need to understand you're a part of something bigger than maybe you realize. It's the biggest show in the movement, bar none.
Yeah.
The last election night on Rumble, bigger numbers than any mainstream show on YouTube. That's significant. That's you. And while I'm grateful and humble, false humility it does you a disservice. But even after all this time, after all of you have voted with your dollar, with your viewership, with your support, after you've set records, it wasn't, and it's not, I should say in the present tense, it's not that the suits in charge of these places, BigCon and these sites, these media companies, it's not that they still believe that this show can't work. It's not that they any longer believe that you don't exist. Those at the top, those pulling the strings in BigCon, are bothered precisely by the fact that you do. They don't want a group of rebellious rabble-rousers who want to learn, fight like hell, and laugh together.
Yeah.
You're of no value if you can't all be kept in line to some degree. I don't mean some master plan to eliminate you. Just subdue you a little bit. Just soften your edges a little bit. Just play ball a little more so we can keep our content all monetized and keep having cocktails with those in charge of big tech. They want you to do that, and they're forcing many of the people you watch to do that. I can't do that. I can't do that. And I'm willing to bet that most of you watching right now can't do that. But okay, you know what? No. Let me rephrase. Of course I could. Of course I could do that. I won't. I won't do that. And I'm willing to bet that most of you won't either. Let me know just how many of you won't. Enter in your email at stopbigcon.com. Now, I just need some time to figure out how to do this. The requirement for infrastructure is light years beyond what we need for just this show. Some time to solve this puzzle as to how I can best and most efficiently accommodate you. And hopefully, some time to restore my faith in a movement which frankly has been shaken by some. Not all. There are a lot of good people in this movement, but some really bad actors among us. And rather...
No, all he did was he just sexually assaulted me at the DMs. That was digital assault or whatever else we want to throw on top of it, because there's emotional, there's manipulative assault. What were the other ones that Candace was throwing out? And like he was saying right at the end there, apparently the Daily Wire, that's just a way too long of a video, but obviously, you got the immediate follow-up that was out there from Jeremy Boring, which was, where the fuck did that come from? Completely and totally unprompted. It's like, okay, cool. You listened to all that stuff of him saying that, okay, there's some shit going on. There's some shit going on out there, and if we want to do something a little bit more appropriate, let this be a call to action. Maybe we can make some changes out there. And he's like, nope. Steven Crowder exposed our shady business practices, and let me tell you why they aren't shady. Are you well? Who hurt you, Jeremy? Who hurt you? And for the most of this, it's a lot of belly aching, it's a lot of bitching, but a little at the front, a little at the back, and then we'll get to the response from Crowder, where we'll go from there. Just trying to lay all this out. Probably got about another hour to go on this.
And Steven Crowder has launched a new initiative called Stop Big Con. And in the video announcing the launch of the project, he talked about leaving the blaze and all the different offers that he fielded from other conservative organizations and what he thought were the real problems with those offers. And that's led a lot of people to speculate about whether or not the Daily Wire is one of the people who made him an offer. In particular, are we the ones who made the offer that he put up on the screen and talked about at length? And the answer is yes, that offer did come from the Daily Wire. I'm not trying to hide that fact. I'm not ashamed of that fact. In fact, I think it's a very good offer. But I think there's a lot of sort of misconceptions about the nature of the offer, the nature of the points. I think Steven misunderstood a lot of the points. And so the way we do here at the Daily Wire, we're just going to be incredibly transparent. That we like to have our members be a part of the journey. We live stream all of our company town halls, for example. We just find...
Yeah, that's wonderful and fantastic. But something else that Crowder didn't mention at all whatsoever in the first offer, because it was irrelevant, outside of the monetary penalties. Okay, one was like $10,000, $100,000, ended up totaling to something completely absurd in the beginning. He never mentioned any money, never mentioned anything like that. So that was one of the first things, and that's also how I know that there's bad faith actors in this.
And that sunlight sometimes is the best disinfectant. And so with that in mind, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how we came to be in conversations with Steven, how those conversations ended, and walk you just line by line through what the actual document that we sent over to him, a non-binding term sheet, what it actually said and why. First thing you should know is that I'm really miserable to be making this video. Stephen's been my friend for 10 years. I think he's maybe the most talented person working in the conservative media space. He's one of the top entertainers in the country, politics notwithstanding, a great comic voice. And
see, that's where I immediately know that Daily Wire wouldn't be a place for me.
I find it really tragic that we're having this kind of a conversation.
You didn't have to.
It's also very important, I think, that we talk about it, in particular because I know a lot of people who are fans of the Daily Wire were really offended by the things that Stephen said in the video, and they're concerned that maybe we're doing the wrong thing.
Yeah, other than just simple inferences, again, it didn't make any mention of you guys at all. You got butthurt, and it's like, no, we need to stand up for our offer sheets are just offer sheets. They're just that. We would have gone back and forth.
And I think that by the time we finish this video, you'll understand what we were thinking with our term sheet and how we operate as a business a little bit better. I've wanted to be in business with Stephen since the day that I met him. Ben and I tried to do some even movie deals with Stephen before there was CRTV and before there was a Daily Wire. For that entire time, we've talked at length at various times about getting together and doing things. Of course, for most of that time, he's been under contract, first at CRTV and then at the Blaze. So we weren't able to. And but from time to time during the years, we would get together and daydream a little bit about would there be a future for us to work together at the other end of that deal. We got word that Stephen was finishing up his time at the Blaze and was interested in having a conversation with us. And so we reached out to his agent and we said, listen, we'd love to have a conversation. It's not every day that a monster talent like Stephen comes on the market. We'd be bad businessmen if we didn't engage in a conversation with him.
I wonder what the offer sheet for Tucker Carlson looks like at this point in time. I wonder if they'd go to this length without, even though, and that's something else that we're going to have to talk. Well, fuck it, we can talk about it right now. The fact that, was it the day after Crowder made his announcement? So yeah, either Wednesday or Thursday when the Tucker Carlson stuff especially came out that, Fox News has a dossier of blackmail materials on him, and Crowder was hammering on that, and it's like everybody kind of knew. Yeah, no, it was right after Candace Owens did her fucking Spurg piece. But yeah, him saying that, there's a really hammering on that point that, there are some bad faith actors that are out there. And then, for Daily Wire to come forward with this as well. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. So, hey, Stephen, get in line. That's what this was.
We weren't sure at that time if there was a deal to be had. I mean, for one thing, we're friends with Glenn, we're friends with Tyler, we're friends with all the guys at the Blaze. We weren't sure that we wanted to commit to making an offer to Stephen. And Stephen's an expensive talent. I mean, he's been in the business a long time. He has an enormous fan base, and we knew that it would take a lot of doing to get him over to the Daily Wire. This at the same time that we're investing very heavily in kids entertainment content and making real television content, streaming scripted fiction like the Pendragon Cycle and Atlas Shrugged and other projects that we've taken on. Would we have the resources? We weren't sure, but again, you have to have the conversation, and we were happy to have it. So we reach out to the agent and we say that we'd like to have a conversation with Stephen, kind of get into the details of what's he looking for, financially, what's he looking for in terms of structure, what would make his life better, what would make him happy. All we're saying is no, let's be smart about how we fight them. The rest of this document, you're welcome to read it. It's just legalese. And what it says is, if we decide to move forward, this isn't the whole document. We're going to have a longer document. We're going to have to negotiate these topics. Confidentiality.
But again, if he would have signed at the bottom line, all right, let's go. But no, it's non-binding. You're shifting the goalposts. Okay, he was talking about these are the offer sheets that up-and-coming conservative voices, where you just say that, we just send these out to everybody, and then we just go from there. We just, you redline. That's the way that you do it in business, you fucking idiot. Okay, clearly you'd know that stuff, and if you did anything at our level, well, you would understand. If you had big boy money that was there, well, you would understand that you would just, this is a launching off point, okay? You just underline what you don't want to do, but yeah. Why is there at the bottom of that agreement that's right there a Daily Wire box and a Stephen Crowder box? He signs on that bottom line. We're good to go. Okay, cool. Everything that's in there, fan-fucking-tastic. Let's rock. Okay, make sure that you get your 200 shows a year, your yearly special that you have to do at, what do you get, like $100,000 bonus in order to do that, and make sure that you're available for the weekly content as well, and then you have some quarterly shit as well. Okay, cool. Oh, but it's just $50 million. He gets $50 million, $50 million, $50 million. Fuck off.
I'm not going to tell people about the deal. He didn't sign this, so he doesn't have those confidentiality requirements, although I certainly expected some political, or I guess personal and professional courtesy of him not.
Oh, of course, yeah. No, we just sent this over, and he exposed us, and it's like, why would you do that? We just wanted to be scumbags under the radar.
Going and reaming us publicly for making him an offer that he didn't like. I don't owe Stephen a job, and Stephen doesn't owe me a show. We opened up a conversation in good faith. We made an offer. He didn't like it. Now he's burning us. That brings me actually to what happened after. I sent this over. I did get on the phone with Stephen. Normally, this is the stage where you say, I like this, I don't like that, red line, and we move closer together. Instead, Stephen said, I'm not going to redline this. I'm not going to have my agent respond. This deal is garbage. You need to start completely over. I said, well, I'd like to talk through why.
That sounds like a negotiation. And it's like, no, okay, cool. You guys want to work together? And that's what you offer me? No, let's do this. Let's run this back.
We do it. And he listened for a little bit. He said, well, you're just wrong. You don't know anything about business. My business model is the right business model. And of course, that's unfair because
One that you guys co-opted off rip?
Stephen hasn't run this part of a business before. Stephen likes to say,
see, Stephen's stupid. He doesn't know. I run a multi-million-dollar business. Stephen Crowder over there, he's just a mug peddler.
I'm only on the air because of Mug Club. And Stephen couldn't tell me how many subscribers
Oh,
he
I'm
had.
sorry.
I said, how many subscribers do you have at the place?
He didn't know. That was a big contentious point. You knew it as well as everybody else. See, what you allude to when it comes to Stephen, everybody knows in public. Like, it was out there. He was big mad. That's why he had the, what was it, Mug Club Forever? Or whatever it was. Yeah, it was the sign-up site because, yeah, the Blaze didn't give over the email list of everybody that signed up for Mug Club. It's like, okay, cool. Now it's totally, completely different. Like, everybody who signs up to the locals, and that was one of those things I was hoping to fix, probably get rid of the Twitter logo, or maybe I'll just redo all of this stuff as well. I got the locals thing, okay? So if you guys just join and follow on Rumble, it's just right there below, and I want to start doing some more stuff, and especially like, okay, also, like I said, it was for 3 fucking hours, the electricity in this quote-unquote city went out, and I ended up getting butt-fucked when it comes to, not like that, pause, but no, my day got completely thrown out of whack when it comes to that, but yeah, like going forward on locals, like I want to do more outside stuff, like walking and talking and all that bullshit. So yeah, if you guys just join over there, it's completely free and all that stuff. But then also, if you guys sign up for the free locals account, and then you want to join somebody's community, I get access to anybody who I think becomes a supporter, their email address, even though I wouldn't use it for anything like that other than just, verification. Like if somebody wanted to contact me on my email address or through Twitter DMs or anything like that, it just becomes something that I can verify. Oh, okay, I have a problem with the free month or something like that on the local side of things. Okay, then I can verify that, oh, okay, that's the account that it comes from. So they're transparent about that, and that's the way that Mug Club runs right now. So it almost looks like that's something that either, because Dave Rubin, who we previously mentioned before, he noticed that there was a problem with that. Okay, so that he fixed that and implemented that on the local side of things, and that's where Mug Club is hosted out of right now. So yeah, that's a little change, but no, for Jeremy, that was something. You don't know how to run this stuff. Crowder actually made changes. But you're the one. You're the big business mind that's out there.
He said, I don't know. They don't tell me. And I'm sure that's true. He said, but I'm confident. I guarantee it'll be 350,000 on day one with no marketing.
I would imagine, like, we can run the numbers, actually, okay? Because I have, we got this, huh? Okay, so yeah, a Mug Club. Support, can we go? Fuck. Yeah, I can check on my phone anyways, but yeah. 350,000 subscribe. Yeah, because what was the, there we go. Okay, yeah. Because, what's his nuts there? Tim Pool has 600,000 subscribers or some shit like it's astronomical. Like that dude pulls fucking money. But do you think somebody who has a 6-time larger footprint on YouTube, and once again like a multiple times a larger pull on Rumble specifically, like do you think that it's absurd for him to say, yeah, we'll get $300,000 or we'll get 300,000 people off rip? I don't think so.
I hope that's true, but I can't take that risk. I've never seen that to be true. I've never launched any talent with $0 spent on marketing.
Who have you launched? Who have you launched that's actually comparable to Stephen Crowder? Jordan Peterson? He doesn't have a base. He doesn't have that built-in base where he was selling a subscription service beforehand. He was doing some theater dates, but it's not really an apples-to-apples comparison. Shapiro? Well, you guys founded the show with him. Candace Owens?
And picked up a third of the total subscribers that the entire Daily Wire has built in 8 years in business. I hope Stephen's right. I hope he makes unseemly amounts of money and is able to continue being an important voice in the movement for years and years to come.
That's what I kind of think. I think that's all we need to watch when it comes to this one. That's why they're big butt mad on that one, because Crowder, I think it would be relevant to pull up how many people are actually members of Mug Club, because I follow it, and that's what you can do on locals. Like, you can follow the different communities and see who's in there, but I just see how many people are on there. If I go to the Rumble op, Pull up or run the ops. Here we go. Join. All right. So 124,889 community members. Comments, posts. Yeah, it doesn't have members or anything like that, but 1.3 million followers on there, and then also community members. So yeah, that's members. That's people that are following. Paying members, tough to say at this point in time. They just came off the free month, so yeah, maybe the 300,000 was a bit lofty, but hey man, it doesn't change the fact that he has a bunch of people. He has a bunch of people who were already paying the $89.99 a month or $89.99 a year that just moved over with absolutely no problems at all whatsoever. So yeah, they're just mad because he was successful. They're just mad because he's successful after the month and things continue to go through. Because you can take a look, every single fuck it, we might as well take a look at that. Every single live stream afterwards has had millions, 1.6 million, 1.3 million, 1.79, 1. Everything that he's done since he's come back, except for the Muhammad Ali video, which I do want to watch at some point in time. Still haven't gone around to it, but yeah, 1.7, 1.4, 1.4, and then I think the run back, was okay. Nashville video, I recommend that one. That was really good. 2.4 million. Media meltdown. Return of Trump. Yeah, everything's over. Everything's at least 2.5 million for the comeback and everything. What was the lowest? 1.25. Yeah, exactly. 1.25. He has been outrageously successful. Outrageously successful so far, and that's why all these leaks ended up coming out. So to just run this part. To run this part back, I think it's going to be relevant. I think it'll be relevant as well, and then we'll get to Candace's Scapegoat on Timcast, which is probably the reason why she's the biggest butt mad. Oh, remember, guys, it's untowards to leak recorded audio, it's untowards to leak recorded audio, but for video, no, that's totally fine. That's totally fair play. I don't even need to address it in my video.
They don't get deals that...
They can be wage slaves for a little bit. Come over and make a salary and grow their brand. They can be wage slaves for a little bit. They can be wage slaves for a little bit.
God bless the talk boy. Those things are worth like $5,000 now. It's an expensive gag. So didn't want to have to do this, but Daily Wire outed themselves very, very quickly. And sure enough.
Yeah, shit. What were the dates on that? Like, that was the next day or the day after? Whenever Boring could end up finding, a PA to run across and end up January 17th. Okay, January 17th, and then this was published. Make sure you get all the appropriate tags, right? Yo, check that SEO, man. Like, they got some good folks that are over there, okay? So, yeah, you got the Stop Big Con one. That's only got a 65 IQ score. Meanwhile, the Jeremy Boring one, 94.6. Shout out to you, my man. That's good stuff. The next day. The next motherfucking day. What a retard.
If you see all of the people who work there, some of whom I have relationships with, they immediately tried to make this all about money.
Yeah, we're not going to play everybody's response video to it. I remember Michaela Peterson, Candace Owens, Ben Shapiro, Michael Knowles, everybody. I don't know if Matt Walsh did or not, or if he was pretending to, drop spicy N-bombs, but then say at the same time, duh, my Twitter was hacked. Just joking. He's way too vanilla to do anything that spicy. He was too busy. I think at this point in time, he was too busy having really shit takes on anime.
Here's the problem. There are a few problems, and I'll go through with some receipts. Everything that was said about negotiations, how they transpired, beyond a numerical value, which is true, and I'll get to, everything else is untrue. I don't really want to get into that. It's completely irrelevant. Here's why. Go back to the 20-something minute video, 30-minute video. You've never heard me say, or write anywhere online, that these offers weren't paying enough money. Why? Because it's not about the money. It's kind of unreal to me that the only thing these people can still talk about is the money. The conversation was about conservatism.
Yo, what the fuck? Is everybody else seeing that stutter? That's interesting. But no, yeah, that's something that I pointed out as well. It's like, okay, in the first video, he was just talking about the principles of this shit, and then Daily Wire, he gets paid $50 million. That's fine. He just ends up, he should have been happy with that. And back when all this stuff broke, we looked down to it, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. So he's getting, like, after everything's all said and done, like, he's getting a pittance of what's actually there, because that was $50 million for everything. For for 4 years. Yeah, it was for 4 years with an option at Daily. Yeah, I was gonna say Daily Wire or Daily Mail. Fuck, I had it right. At Daily Wire's leisure to extend it for another 2 years. Which, if you don't think leading into the, what would that have been, 2028 presidential cycle, if you don't think that Crowder wouldn't have been even bigger than he is right now, well, I guess if you stifle him and if you remove any of the Crowderness that makes his channel successful, then yeah, maybe, but then you're just kneecapping your own investment. So it's totally fucking dim, but yeah, no, I just wanted to check that. Just wondered. I was like, why is this not full screen? Oh, right, because it was stuttering. Let's make sure that it's not.
The movement and big tech, they keep talking about money. I'm talking about a country. I'm talking about a movement. I'm talking about making a difference. It's not about the money, and Jeremy and the Daily Wire know that. How do I know they know that? Because after, according to what he said, I walked away from the offer. I did place one more call to the Daily Wire, and I made it very, very clear that it wasn't about money. That was not the topic of conversation.
I need to. That's throwing me off as well. It must be just the fucking pits for you guys to watch as well. I want to do that. I run a high quality show right here, okay? And I have to. It's under my contractual obligations, because if I don't,
there was zero, as they've tried to portray this, miscommunication. It was one last call where the only thing that I asked for, my only demand, was their word, and not even for me, but for other people coming up facing these kinds of contracts.
Let's say it's a kid who comes in with 500,000 YouTube subscribers or something like that, 100,000. Let's say it's some other kid you're paying 6 figures to come in and do it. There's not the penalty of the demonetization, or if they're removed from iTunes, Apple, YouTube.
Yeah, sure there would be.
Here's
L Matt Walsh in the chat. He got channel demonetized. I don't even know why. It was probably some fucking tranny nonsense or some shit like that. We're just about over 2 hours, so I can go. Actually, no, I've been saying cunt and shit like that before, so.
Something else.
Don't take it personally, though.
Very measured. I was painstakingly clear in taking myself off the table because it wasn't going to be a right fit. That happens in business all the time. But that we weren't talking about me. We were talking about the futures of other people who could potentially be in that position, that very disconcerting position. No miscommunication.
What I'm talking about is you're describing a model for everyone, not just, let's get rid of me here. Everyone, if there's a penalty for being demonetized on YouTube, because your business model requires that be a huge component of it, you need to change your business model, or this movement cannot work, Jeremy. I can't imagine my show trying to come up and be beholden to YouTube advertiser guidelines, let alone, I mean, honestly, being beholden from a conservative entity with hard strikes, right, being removed. But
yeah, and as somebody who live at 5 when we ran the stream on Tuesday, I ended up getting taken down. Imagine if I had a Daily Wire contract for whatever fucking reason, if I had an inoperable brain tumor and needed to cover some medical costs, and ended up signing up with those cucks. Okay, if I didn't end up winning that spurious, absolutely, completely ridiculous strike, I would have been penalized for that, because I wouldn't have been able to broadcast, put out my 3 videos every single fucking day. Okay, now, the content that would have been provided, or would have been required of me contractually, on top of the weekly show, I couldn't do any of that stuff as well. I would have been penalized for something that I obviously didn't do. So yeah, that's why you can't push the conversations, okay? If YouTube just decides, nah, you're getting struck, like that was across the 2 channels. The one got taken down for reasons that I'm still not even clear of at all whatsoever. It wasn't a 3rd strike or anything like that. It was just, yeah, we don't like that anymore. The channel where I don't even say any, I barely say any untowards words, but you don't need that, so we'll just get rid of that. Okay, fantastic. But yeah, I think it was lucky number 13 strike. If not, it was probably 13 or 14. It was one of those strikes. But yeah, so I've had vacations. I've had forced vacations. I've had 2 week-long vacations where I was up against it. But yeah, for reasons that, well, actually, a bunch of those were medical misinformation strikes, probably like half of those. Yeah, even though with all the revelations that are out there right now, once again, who ended up telling the truth and then ended up getting struck for it? That's why everybody who was on the Daily Wire was either silent or pushed the jab. Ben Shapiro, chief among them, just get the vaccine dopes.
Let alone being advertiser friendly. We know how broad those guidelines are. They might as well just read, don't say anything offensive, and they change them at the drop of a hat.
I'm not suggesting that the guidelines aren't terrible. I'm suggesting that if making money off of those platforms is part of how you're justifying the salary you're paying someone, then or the fee I keep saying salary, the fee you're paying someone, then when those go away, everybody loses money. You can't pay pay the same amount with less revenue.
How about you create a different business model?
Yeah.
Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Of course, telling someone else, hey, change your business model. I get it. I'm in no position to say that unless, instead of Monday morning quarterbacking it, here's the thing. I didn't just offer criticisms. I offered a guide on how to, here's the deal. I want to sit at the table with people who, granted, have an immense amount of power and have incredibly deep pockets. That is all true, to be clear. And by the way, it's something that I want to have on our side of the aisle. But I offered a guide on how to do it. It is incumbent, this is what this is about. It is incumbent upon conservatives, if we believe what we say, to uncouple, to divest, if you want to use that term, from big tech. Right? For the business models of the movement as we move forward, to not rely on playing ball with Facebook and with YouTube. That is something that we have to move toward. You know that we've been trying to do that here for years. That's why every single show we say, hey, if you can watch on Rumble, please do so. We're not looking to be banned on YouTube, but at least we certainly won't compromise the truth.
Yeah, and that's always my call. Okay, hey man, if you guys have the opportunity to watch on Rumble, which a staggering amount, I'm just constantly looking over there going, the fuck is this? Am I getting goofed right now? Like, yo man, like I said, this is a very popular topic, but still, yeah, watch on Rumble, because legitimately, after I got my second channel just yeeted out of the absolute fucking blue, when one of the strikes was going to be falling off within weeks, I'm pretty sure both of them would have been off by now, but no, that channel's been gone for a while. I don't know how long it'll be around on YouTube. I legitimately don't know. So yeah, if I ever go missing, if you don't see videos that are popping up, if you don't see the streams when they're supposed to be on Tuesdays and Saturdays over there, I'll be over on Rumble. Until the wheels fall off. So yeah. You can't trust YouTube. You can't trust YouTube to be honest and forthright with their policies, especially if you talk the way that we talk over here on this side of the internet. They can just go ahead and go, repeated policy violations, you're gone. Which ones? The ones that we say, okay, great. So yeah, if you're going to have somebody line up to that, and then every time, okay, you get a channel demonetization, like, yeah, the beard ended up catching for... what fucking reasons? He was just crushing the cans that conservatives crush all the time. Oh, yeah, we don't like... Yes, I know. It's a very controversial stance to not want to have grown men wave their genitalia in the face of children. Thank you for fighting that battle, Matt. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm glad somebody said it. You finally said it. I had the courage and somebody had to say it. So yeah, you continue to champion that. You never actually want an answer to the question, what is a woman? Because, then you'd have to work on a new grift. It's kind of like Candace Owens. Oh, wow, you figured out the Black Lives Matter is a grift. Oh, George Floyd was actually, he wasn't the upstanding citizen that society would want you to believe. Good journalism that's out there. These fucking guys, man.
In order to be advertiser friendly. Here's the thing, Daily Wire. Jeremy, and I really do hope that we can talk at some point. Please, you can pick up the phone. We've done that. We here have found a way to make that work. For proof, see election night, our numbers on Rumble there, and see the numbers on Rumble when we get suspended from YouTube. I think it was 4 times this last year, and I went to great lengths to communicate that to the people at Daily Wire.
There can be no next me.
Yeah, I was going to say something over the top of that, but we'll let it play.
The people at the top with the financial resources are doing the bidding. That's being the arm of big tech. What you just said is, well, we have to play ball with big tech if we want to make money. Well, I don't. Why don't you guys follow a model like I have and scale it? That's what I've been doing since 2014. You know that. I've been trying to make sure, which I thought we were all doing, that we can all flip the bird to Silicon Valley. This is saying we need him and you need to play ball.
And by the way, before some of you ask this, look, there's always personal information on phone calls. And for the record, I've recorded 3 people on phone calls in my life. All 3 are involved with big tech. Just to be clear, the entire call transcript has been sent to others to verify without hopefully having to release the whole thing. And I'll be on Tim Pool's show, I believe, on Monday to talk about it. Now, this is...
Yeah, that's very interesting because, this was released. So I'm just going to go ahead and... because I think that's about all we need to listen to on that one. Because, okay, what did Crowder say? I didn't want to have to do this. It's like, yeah, okay, obviously, right? Because you guys thought that you were fighting the good fight, and then Daily Wire, the Facts Don't Care About Your Feelings Network took it personally. Interesting take. All right. So, then for clarification, then he runs it back. Oh, okay, cool. And then, okay, I don't want to have to release anything. I would like to talk this out personally, but we know what Jeremy Boring knows. He knew all about the divorce that was going on, very much so, going on behind the scenes right now. And that's what ended up leading to his attack dogs going out, which was, okay, so this came out on the 19th. The 19th of January was, let's see, January 19th was a Thursday. It was a Thursday. He said he was going to be there on Monday. But who was the guest on Timcast? Who was the guest on Timcast on, what was this? On the 19th. On the very same day. So just after this gets released. Well, it was Candace Owens, y'all. Now, I've made allusions to this a bunch of different times, and I've seen clips off the back of this, and I know that she spurgs out. I know that she absolutely loses her mind, but I've never actually watched this in totality, so we'll probably jump around a little bit. And I know that Candace gets untowards, and there's also the chat that was down there, and I could see a couple of Karen Owens, and shit was wild. And this was the first time that Candace really started to swing for the fences. And thanks to Crowder's announcement video of the divorce, we've seen the snippets from her show, which if I have to watch through a Candace Owens show, I will watch the top of my skull exit the top of my head if I have to do that anymore, because I don't like her. I don't like her very much, and I don't know how many C-bombs are going to get dropped here. So if you're if you're a Candace sycophant, you can change the channel. But clearly you're not. You guys are in here. You're in here for the long run, and I apologize for if there's any extra outside noise. Okay, I got hillbillies that live in my neighborhood. It's like, okay, cool. The bigger the truck, the bigger the tailpipe. It's like, just buy a fucking muffler, you faggot.
Steven's not here to defend himself, but Candace is here to give her perspective on this. So I'll just throw it to you and give me your thoughts on.
And if I've missed any super chats, I'm sorry. I legitimately am trying to jump through 2 chats, and if I miss anything, I'm incredibly sorry. Just please bring it to either my attention or to one of the mods. I'm sorry if that's the case. I swear to God.
On his response and what happened with the Daily Wire, because I know you got a lot to say.
I do have a lot to say about this because obviously the situation impacted me and it impacted all the other hosts.
With this stutter, bro? I hate this. 721. Okay. Maybe it's just because it's been in the lurch for so long. That's highly possible.
I have a lot to say about this because obviously I've been with Daily Wire 2 to 3 years now. You have never once heard me come out to defend the Daily Wire on anything. This is not the first time Daily Wire has been in a firestorm or had some beef that's gone on, whether it's for Ben or Matt or Michael that's gone on the last 3 years. I tend to stay very much in my lane.
Does anybody believe that? Does anybody believe? Okay, because there's other beefs that you could look at as well that she extrapolated. Okay, yeah, because I think the Nicole Arbor shit happened before this as well, and then also like the big dust up between her and Blair White, which of course the dude came out on top on that one. But yeah, oh no, I don't ever defend Daily Wire. Interesting, very interesting.
As I mentioned before, I'm not employed with Daily Wire. I'm not required to come out and defend them. And I'm usually just not interested in these.
I wonder if this was this before the Kanye West stuff?
Beefs that seem to be so fickle. They last for a day and then they go away. And it's probably the reason why, for whatever, doesn't really matter what anybody thinks about me. I have a good relationship with pretty much everybody. Like,
it's so good, but you also thought, oh, in retrospect, him leaking a DM. There's some idiot kids that are outside. Again, I apologize. And, oy, fuck sakes, man. But yeah, oh no, there was a DM in the background that, it could have been a little bit bad, but it was the exact same shit that she says. Again, if it was such a nefarious, it was such a terrible DM, why didn't you just show it? Why didn't you show it? Oh, because it was the exact same shit that he said on the stream.
Like, there's no one that I can't be invited and be in the same room with. Everybody sort of hates each other, but Alex Jones has a good opinion of me. Everyone from Alex Jones to Ben Shapiro to Paul Joseph Watson, Mike Cernovich is somebody that I call and ask for advice from time to time, Jack Posobiec. Like, I'm a kind of person that judges people based on how they treat people, right? I'm not interested.
It's funny because, okay, whenever she's trying to set up a clip beforehand, she really likes to poison the well, like you've seen it in the beginning, okay? This is very hard to watch. It's very disturbing. She's pregnant, okay? And now she's just setting it up. It's like, oh, I always keep my hands out of this, okay? I'm a good person. I never do any of this stuff. I didn't do nothing, okay? Trust me on this. I'm a really good person. These are obvious tactics that people use in order to obfuscate from the fact that they might not be totally telling the truth.
Interested in dabbling in this nonsense from time to time that appears and then goes away and ebbs and flows. This situation, though, was different because basically Steven Crowder decided to launch a war and didn't really care who got hit, with the shrapnel, right? He comes out, he makes this glorious video, which It's shocking to me that people cannot see the amount of acting that is going into this. We all understand he was a childhood actor. He was on, I love that show, Arthur. He was the brain. Like, he is an actor. At the end of the day, he's an actor. It's also why he's so entertaining when it comes to politics. He's a talented person, but that people cannot discern the amount of acting that has gone on in this is stunning to me. I don't know where people's discernment, what's going on with discernment, where you can't just spiritually discern that, this feels a little weird, right? You're
Holy fucking, sometimes I think I talk a lot.
recording conversations with someone that you have told us you are friends with forever. Oh, and by the way, at the end of you saying that you're just trying to do the right thing, you're also saying, I'm going to launch my own thing, right? So just when I first saw the first video that he dropped, obviously I'm not privy to negotiations that happened on the Daily Wire. I had no idea they were negotiating with Steven Crowder. Again, not my business. I came into work one day, suddenly Brett Cooper was there. Not my business. I don't know who they're hiring. I don't own the company, right? But what I started getting was after I had dropped
Oh, she was of all the people to point out, or maybe Brett Cooper was the most recent hire, or, maybe she was the most recent hire. Really, doesn't much matter. But she points out the only other woman that's employed there. Oh, somebody's worried about their position.
my podcast in the comment section, everyone was basically tearing me apart, being like, blink twice if you need help, first thing like I'm a hostage situation, or saying, what if you don't say anything about Steven Crowder.
Oh no, people are untowards in the comments. Oh no, I just want to talk about the truth and have a good relationship with everybody. Oh no, the comments are getting at me.
You're a fraud, just like suddenly you're a fraud. So I go in and watch this video, and just like everybody else watching it live, his first video, your instincts are like, whoa, he's throwing some bombs, he's calling it big con, he's saying essentially that we are enslaved by these contract terms. He actually uses the term enslavement. If you don't want to be a slave, you maybe you'll come work. I'm going to figure it out for all of us. Like, you're a hero, you're a martyr. And because I was getting so many comments, the first thing I did was that I messaged my EP and I said, we have to cover this tomorrow on the show, because now everyone thinks I'm a fraud and they think that I've signed with fraudulent terms or slave-like terms, and that's so totally unfair to me. So my interest in this is that it hit me and it hit everybody else at Daily Wire, and it was unfair.
Do you, I don't know, you don't have to answer this, I guess, but do you have a similar contract?
There are certain terms I recognize. That's why I immediately knew it was Daily Wire. So
That's why you got to toe the line. But then it's also very funny, because I just realized this. Maybe this is a little eureka moment. I'm glad we watched this. That's the reason that she's the attack dog, because when was the last time you seen a chick at all get canceled online? It's very interesting, especially a black chick like that, even if she does talk some of the language of the right. Very interesting. I recognize some of the language that's in there. Oh, but again, oh no, that was just an offer sheet. That was just an offer sheet that Daily Wire sent over to Crowder. No, of course not. Somebody's mad that she signed a bad contract and that Crowder put it out to the world. So now she just ends up looking stupid. See how personal she took this and why she's reveling in this messy divorce becoming public?
for example, the fee reduction if you miss a day of work, right? Like if you miss a day of work, we are paying for X amount of episodes, and this is a steep amount if you miss one day of work. When you first see that, when I first received a contract from Daily Wire, I went, that's a shocking number to see. Then you have to calculate, and by the way, mine was not this. I want to be very clear, I don't have a $50 million contract. If there's anything I should be upset about, is that they were going to pay that much to Steven Crowder, right? I need to go renegotiate my contract. But
Crowder also employs 30 people, and that was also a part of the $50 million rationale.
So you see it, and it's shocking, and then you read under, which is what he did not include when he says, so if I get hit by a car, like I'm just going to $100,000 a day. He didn't tell you how much he made. You don't know what $100,000 means unless you can see what were they offering him. And you can calculate yourselves, okay, so what they're basically saying.
Yeah, there was medical leave that was on there, but it was only for a certain amount of time. He still has to produce content. Again, Candace Owens not being exactly the most forthright individual.
Is that we're paying you $63,000 a day. You know what I'm saying? He purposely excluded right beneath it that says that actually it's pro rata if in event of an emergency. That's a very significant thing that would allow people not to be enraged at seeing this.
Yeah, just to clarify, when Jeremy released his video, he showed the additional portion that said in the event of temporary disability, they prorate you, there's no penalty. And then we talked about this last night. I said the $100,000 seems punitive. I think you mentioned, yeah, but what about Daily Wire's cost? I said, oh yeah, fair point.
DC Jones did, and that's exactly right. Yeah. They have all of these contracts that exist. It's very easy to understand. We're paying you, here's this $100,000. We're paying you $63,000 for the content. They also have a bunch of contracts everybody's working on the show. So for example, my EP, she's contracted. I don't know what her contract says, but maybe it says that no matter what, she is guaranteed this amount of money. So if I magically call out, they still have to pay her. They still have to pay the camera guy. Maybe the advertising is punitive. If you didn't give us the content, the advertisers maybe then say, okay, Daily Wire has to pay us $5,000 if Candace doesn't read ads on that day. You don't know when you have an organization this big what everybody's contracts are. So I assume it's $60,000, and then they're baking in an extra $38,000 to cover their asses to pay everybody else that maybe showed up for work that day.
But Jeremy did say.
Yeah, that's wonderful and fantastic. Oh wow. Oh, my producer isn't included in my salary that I get. Okay, is you jealous, bro? Like, what are you trying to get at right there? Oh no, my contract's totally different. Somebody's trying to overcompensate.
Punitive. Because he said, well, you're right about the costs all around it, but he basically said one circumstance is you're choosing not to work, and one is you're unable to work.
Right.
If you're unable, we get it. We'll just prorate based on the lost day. But he also said something interesting that you could make up that day by banking it at any time.
Right. So I do that, by the way. I do that, and that's why it's so annoying. So I see these things. It's to people who don't know how this works. First and foremost, it's a term.
Yeah, no, there's 365 days in a year if you need to produce 180 pieces of daily content. you can do fucking simple math and figure out that there's more days in the week than that add up to 180 pieces of content per year. Wow, big shock on that one. It's almost like for those monthly pieces of content that you're also required to create as a part of your contract. You could create them all in the beginning of the year if you wanted to. Ooh, big. You think that you're pointing out loopholes, but it's like, okay, cool. We've worked. Everybody here has worked a job before. It's like, yeah, okay. If you do all of your work at the beginning of the day, either you can go home early, or you won't have as much stuff to do after lunch. Like, what?
Term sheet. He was never given a contract. It was a term sheet. It's essentially a.
I recognize different language that was in the term sheet. That's also in my contract, but that's just a term sheet, though.
A starting conversation. Here's what we have in mind. Everything's baked in. Some things literally don't make sense. Like in my term sheet, it said, we whatever about they wanted access to my Snapchat. I don't have a Snapchat. They wanted access.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. I'll just go ahead and point out the one social media. But yeah, no. Candace Owens has a Candace Owens podcast, and her proper one that uses the Black Lives Matter is a grift, whatever fucking documentary is. It has that as the profile picture. So yeah, they run the Candace Owens podcast channel Twitter, but it still parrots the exact same stuff from her as well. And yeah, you can't get demonetized. You can't say anything that would get you demonetized on the other platforms, which we've seen throughout the years. Sargon Navakad getting banned off of Patreon for things that he said on somebody else's YouTube channel, and then that also having downstream effects that the Lotus Eaters ends up getting demonetized because of what Carl said, or Carl got deplatformed or demonetized on his channel in the past. Like, you see the way that this cascading shit ends up affecting, like, it makes sense that, yeah, okay, if somebody's going to be buying you as talent, they want to go ahead and have control over everything that you say, especially if there's going to be those other terms that are in there. If, yeah, you catch a strike, you get demonetized if you're saying something off platform. And fuck, one of the biggest examples, one of the first ones that I can remember, Anthony Cumia, wasn't anything that he said on the microphone while he was working for Sirius XM. It was because he got assaulted in Times Square, and he said that there's a problem of violence and loudmouth bitches in the black community.
To my room. I don't have a room. They don't access. It's literally just like, here's something so we can get the conversation started. And really, the thing you need to pay attention to is like, this is the money. And then, of course, our lawyer's going to go back and say, this makes entirely no sense. This makes entirely no sense. So then you get to, personalize it, so to speak, right? When you say, okay, well, this thing makes me nervous because, okay, what if it's not me that's sick, but my son, I have 2 kids, right? What if my son breaks his leg and I'm not going to not leave his side. So I have to then say, I need to personalize this term sheet. And that is what the contract is then for. If you come to some agreement that this is what we're going to work on, right? This is what we're going to negotiate in good faith, right? So he first and foremost lied by saying it was a contract. He lied by omission by not saying how much money, so people couldn't calculate, okay, really, how punitive is that $100,000? Not that much. You consider that there's a bunch of costs that go into producing a show, and people that they may have paid, editors. In this case, he produces his own show, but editors, writers.
Is she really that fucking stupid? Okay, clearly she is. $50 million. Okay, cool. You want to talk about that specifically? That's for everybody. That's for the entire Louder with Crowder crew. All of the writers, all of the producers, all of the researchers, all of the people that work on the website. $50 million for everybody that's down there. Oh, it's just $100,000. It's just $100,000 for that one show. Meanwhile, yeah, okay, if he does a Change My Mind segment, which would have been, one of the monthly or quarterly pieces of content, the fantastic legal fees on top of that immediately just eat into the top of the $50 million. And that's the entire budget that you get, except for the yearly, you get a yearly stipend for those, that piece of content. But she's going to go ahead and try to rationalize a way that, what was the argument again? It was so fucking
There's a bunch of costs that go into producing a show.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of costs to producing a show. Yeah, the type of show that he does is a very much different than the one that you run. Like, okay, cool. Big cell phone there, I guess.
And people that they may have paid, editors. In this case, he produces his own show. But editors, writers, no matter what, the Daily Wire has to see that package and do something to it. So, and by the way, like I said, we know it's at least standard. So it's not because they're trying to hit Steven Crowder. They've given this to all of us. And your job then, if you're a big boy, right? If you can put on your big boy pants, is to go to your lawyer.
Oh, here's where she starts to get cunty. Oh, man, somebody's realized that just after she just dunks on herself, then she starts to shame. Oh, here comes the sign language, I would imagine.
And to say, I'm not doing that, this makes no sense, negotiate. Now, if you are a young talent.
That's what he did. Again, she didn't watch the video. Or maybe she did, and just like with those snippets from her show that we watched, here's the clip. The clip totally exonerates him. Despicable. All right, next story.
That was discovered on YouTube, as I was way back in the day, who comes from no money, as I was way back in the day. This could be, unfair because I can't afford a lawyer to go through line by line of this and redline this. That is not the circumstance for Steven Crowder. He's already...
Yeah, Crowder said, I don't like your term sheet. We'll work on something else. Okay, cool. This is what you guys want to do. I'm going to go do something else. We watched it. We seen it. Jeremy said that. Her boss said that, and she's just gonna go rogue.
He told us he's got so much money, he's more successful, and he doesn't need the money, blah, blah, blah. So why don't you just hire a lawyer?
But that's what he said in the rebuttal. Yeah, it's not about me. It's about the Daily Wire signing new upcoming young people to these terms, and they don't.
And in that
rare Tim W.
capacity, he hits Brett Cooper, right? Now he's basically, so who is a young upcoming talent?
He said, you disingenuous cunt.
That got signed with the Daily Wire. There's only, 5 hosts of shows on the Daily Wire? I mean, so you're talking about Matt Walsh? No. He's not young upcoming talent that's just been signed. You're talking about Michael Knowles? No. He's not young upcoming. You're not talking about Candace Owens. I don't think we would say Andrew Klavan is young upcoming talent. So you're talking about Brett Cooper. That's insulting to Brett Cooper. You have no idea he's just saying shit, right? And it's not like he's reached out to us and said, hey, I'm doing this for all of us. It's not he reached out independently to Daily Wire hosts and been like, are you dealing with these egregious terms? No. He is doing this purely, let's not even try to make this anything but a selfish act that was to benefit Steven Crowder, who wants to launch his own network. Because, and by the way, I say this is the most important part of this, and nobody is talking about this. He receives the term sheet, okay, and he thinks it's so egregious that he's got to make this video 4 months later, right? I don't know what happened in those 4 months after they started negotiating. I guess Steven Crowder woke up, new year, new me. I hate the Daily Wire, so I'm going to go after them. He thinks.
Where did he mention Daily Wire? He said this was an industry-wide problem, but no. Somebody's in their feelings right now. Oh, right, we can't criticize her. She's a black woman. I forgot.
It's so egregious. The first thing he does is counteroffer and say, let's start talking about 140 million, okay? So if it was so outrageous, why did he go back to them and say, no, actually, we can have this conversation, but let's start talking about 140 million, right? It was only when the Daily Wire then turned that down that the term sheet became so egregious that he had to do something about it.
I'll just add real quick to everybody. Steven Crowder's coming on the show on Monday. I know he's not here to defend himself.
Did you speak to him? Because he might have recorded your conversation, so you might want to comment about what the hell did you said to him.
I mean, yeah, my view is I was kind of surprised to hear that Steven recorded the phone call with Jeremy because I don't know why you would.
It's a contentious contract negotiation. They just Boring just dropped a video going, oh, okay, cool, this is our offer sheet, and Steven's a big retard. You're gonna record that shit. It's the exact same logic behind, oh, okay, cool. Well, nobody broke into your house recently. Why do you have all these security cameras? Are you fucking retarded? Okay, I said rare Tim W, common Tim L.
By the way, it should be mentioned, that conversation, so they stopped negotiating completely, which Jeremy made clear in his video. This was over. He doesn't even know what this is coming from because this conversation stopped when Steven Crowder then came back with a counter term sheet offer of a glorious $140 million over X amount of years. And they said, we just can't do this, right? Then he sat and he stewed and he said nothing until 1 week ago. He reaches out to Jeremy and he asks him to talk on the phone. And that was 1 week ago. That is the conversation that you guys are all hearing that he is playing right now. So
I don't know anything about what goes on at the top, but I know a week ago, and he wanted to specifically talk to Jeremy. So what is it, Candace? Do you know what's going on at the top, or do you just selectively know this type of stuff? Very interesting. You should think your positions and your points out a little bit more thoroughly.
So he plotted this. This is a plot line. He planned to then record him to go back and to make this video. If he had recorded this way back during negotiations, maybe you could say there was no plot. Why did he reach out to Jeremy exactly 1 week ago when they hadn't discussed anything pertaining to the contract and they said no and walked away last year around October, November? And then suddenly in January, he reaches out 1 week ago and says, hey, can we get on the phone? And he decides, maybe I should record this. No, it's because he realized he had nowhere left to go. And his next plot in this storyline, in this terrible childhood acting that he's doing right now, was, okay, I have to do my own thing now.
Everybody acts except for me. The person who has to poison the well before presenting any sort of audio, that has to present any sort of unflattering video. Interesting. Everybody else acts except for me, right, Candace, of course.
And so I need to drum up some drama to get everybody that I know to believe that
Her accusing somebody else of drumming up drama. Oh, my aching heart. Oh, my God. I need to go in for cosmetic surgery, right?
I'm a martyr for our beliefs, and they should dump their subscriptions to everybody else that's part of BigCon and join the Mug Club. How can people not see? I mean, the writing is just so on the wall.
The fact
it's really not. It's contract negotiations fell through. Here's the problem. Okay, yeah, maybe was it an advertisement for his new platform? Perhaps. Sign up for Mug Club forever. We're negotiating with things. Okay, cool. He starts up Mug Club with the help of Rumble. So he goes somewhere else. Like, what? Obviously, the Rumble deal. Yeah, no, it hadn't been announced at this point in time, but just, this is an exclusive hit against Daily Wire. Sure, they were the biggest players in the market, but who couldn't have also thought that maybe there was another upstart? Maybe there was another wealthy oil baron that was out there that was more than willing to bankroll some people. I don't know.
The fact that he recorded Jeremy says that he did plan. Look, I'm not here to impugn his honor. I think you're absolutely entitled to your view, having working with the Daily Wire and everything you've seen. But it does suggest that he knew he was calling Jeremy for this reason. I think Crowder is I don't know if I think it might be too far for me to believe that Crowder is trying to do this to pull subscribers from Daily Wire or make more money for himself, because the dude already makes a lot of money.
But not he does not. He thinks that he is worthy of $140 million a year. Do you believe that Steven Crowder right now is making $140 million a year?
I bet he could.
You bet he could.
Absolutely
You bet he could.
yeah.
But how?
Yeah, and you don't think, especially next year, leading into the presidential election, the fucking big one, you don't think that he could generate? I think he could definitely generate, 9 digits, especially. Do you think he's worth? Okay, well, even still, like, you could imagine all that stuff. Okay, that's for future services. That's same with any other, like, athlete contract as well. Okay, like Lamar Jackson just signed what, $230 million over 5 years or some shit like that. Okay, I'm a Ravens fan. Like, I'm a big Ravens fan. My signed helmet from their championship seasons, right over there. Huge Ravens fan. I wouldn't have given that to Lamar Jackson. Now, is he going to overperform that contract? Chances are it's the richest contract in NFL history. Probably not, okay? But that's what he negotiated. You're only worth what you can negotiate. Is Steven going to make more than $50 million? Of course. He's probably going to make that. He's probably going to make more than that this year. Controversy aside, maybe that's why Daily Wire, I keep saying Daily Mail. Maybe that's why Daily Wire just decided to get all big butthurt and send their fucking attack dog out there. It's just going to be very interesting to see what Monday holds. Anyways.
How's he got to do that? How's he got to start that? He just had a couple of kids. How's he got to start that? You launch a war in the conservative movement and you move people away from a business that you want to model. You know, I don't know who's modeling who. I don't know who started this first. But you basically say, I'm not them. Come with me. And that's exactly what he's doing. Call us.
Call a spade a spade. Well, I've got something, that it doesn't quite sound like spade that I'd like to yell. But, why do you think that there's a finite pie? This is female logic, just once again, working magic. Okay, you think that there's only a finite amount of resources. Well, how about, okay, there's a different platform. There's a different product that's out there. Hell, it was even working before all of this stuff as well. Daily Wire had their whatever. Yeah, I did say it right this time. They had their subscription service. Mug Club was just operating completely without it. Doing its own thing as well. A couple of other subscription services that were out there. Everybody has a Patreon or some shit like that. Different locals accounts for people that are out there as well. Why do you think he has to get Daily Wire subscribers? Like, you guys did collaborations all the fucking time. Did you actually think that this was an attempt to steal away because people could just be wooed away from one side, or that he'd even need to? Like, that's just stupid. He is branching out. He's already beefing, or at least had a lingering, simmering rivalry with the Blaze. It's getting late in the stream. But yeah, okay, cool. So you might be able to take some people away from the Blaze who were pissed off about that situation, the way that breakup went. Why did you think that, okay, cool, by not naming the Daily Wire, by giving kudos to Ben Shapiro, Andrew Klavan, Jordan Peterson, that he's trying to take people away from there? He's saying, hey, those guys are really great and their platform is wonderful and fantastic. If you want to go support those guys, they made a choice with their contracts. Not what I'm going to do. I'm going to be over here. But hey, she's got justifications on that.
Spade a spade. Call a spade a spade, okay? This was a plot line, and that annoys me because he dragged me into this plot line, okay? He dragged us all into...
Oh, what? How funny she brings it up again. He brung me into this plot line. He was a little bit more overt with the divorce shit by saying that there's some people behind the scenes that making vague illusions. Roll the clip. There's Candace making the vague illusions. There's more behind the scenes. We just need to pray for him at this point in time. He has a lot going on. Not once did he bring up Candace Owens. Not once at all. She's just inserting herself into this drama. That's why I wanted to do this stream. That's why I definitely wanted to do this stream, because this is Candace Owens being Daily Wire's attack dog. Nobody else could reasonably drum up that much attention. Nobody has that track record of being a drama hound quite like Candace. Nobody else. Andrew Klavan, Michael Knowles, Jeremy Boring himself, Ben Shapiro. Well, yeah, okay, he's got that ultimate dem boy shield, but nobody else has that marketability where, yeah, okay, if Steven Crowder was to lob a salvo back at Candace Owens, he'd just be attacking a woman, and he has a history of doing that. This was planned. This was totally planned.
to this plot line. He's basically saying, at one point in his video, this is what really set me off. He's like, and so you might be noticing that a lot of these people, their viewpoints are sanitized, and this is why, this contract, this is why. Essentially saying that Candace is controlled, Matt Walsh is controlled, Michael Knowles is controlled, Brett Cooper is controlled, and now we know why, guys, because I have this contract, which I conveniently excerpted portions that could allow you to discern for yourself, but it's actually not that unreasonable as a starter conversation, which is what a term sheet is, right? And instead, I'm just going to smear all these people that are associated with the wire, and that's why I'm pissed off. That's why I'm pissed off, because
not untrue. Again, you can take a look at the career trajectories of all of these people. Okay, they were on the up and up, except for Brett Cooper, who, she just makes all that clickbait shit. Just look at her fucking thumbnails and her titles and what she covers. Okay, and it's the highly produced reaction type content that everybody does. Okay, on the internet. Okay, and she's just immediately marketed to 1 million viewers because she's a mid-level attractive white girl who just has basic ass opinions. She's kind of right on most of the stuff, and I don't terribly disagree with her. She's one of the more palatable people that are over there, but everybody else made their bones before signing with Daily Wire, and outside of the odd drama that peaks up every once in a while, when was the last time that you've ever heard too much from them? Just saying, if the shoe fits, yell at it and call it racist. I don't know.
I then was fielding comments calling me a fraud because they thought that I agreed to these terms and that my voice was being controlled.
Well,
I told Steven, I said, I think ideologically I understand his gripe with the contracts, and I agree with the contracts. We don't do contracts the way the Daily Wire does.
There was no contract. I just want to say that one more time.
Right. So contract, different term. Terms. I don't.
She's tone policing, and Tim just has terrible frame once again. It's like, come on, if you would have signed it, it would have been a contract, right? Just shut up.
I don't do terms the way the Daily Wire does. I also am, the way it's like the Joe Rogan story I have to tell, that he booted me from the show twice, and I didn't get mad at him. I was like, well, I'm kind of pissed off that he booted me twice, like happened twice, and I flew out to LA. But he doesn't owe me any favors. I'm not going to rag on Joe Rogan because he didn't do me a favor. If I was on his show, it'd be really great for me. It didn't work out. I'm going to carry on with my life and my business. I've negotiated with the Daily Wire. We couldn't figure out something that worked. We're very different in that sense. And I said, well, it was nice hanging out, and let's work on stuff in the future, and we'll make awesome stuff. I told Steven, I said, I think that the Daily Wire is a massive net positive, especially with what is a woman. I mean, that was a massive cultural force that got even mainstream, moderate lefty types to be like, oh yeah, I've seen that, and start this conversation. Then you did the BLM documentary, of course, that had, I don't think it was nearly as big as Was a Woman, but certainly had a cultural response.
Nice shade that he threw right there, but again, easy talking points, but was it well researched? Apparently. I haven't fucking watched it. You think I'm going to watch any of that nonsense?
Things are tremendous. And so my attitude is look, I don't like the contracts of they're very business-like, very entertainment industry. I understand that Daily Wire doesn't. If someone came to me and said, we're going to get investors, we're going to get some prominent conservative voices, and we're going to launch a company that rivals Disney, I'd be like, man, I don't like Disney. And they'll go, yeah, but it will be America-loving, independently minded, meritocratic. I'll say, oh, I'll take that over Disney any day. And then I'll go and do my thing that I think should be the way I want it to be. And I'm not going to be mad at the Daily Wire for the Daily Wire doing a thing.
Yeah, Bill, what you're describing first and foremost are the free markets, right? If you don't like it somewhere, leave. I thought we were conservative. I thought that's what we were trying to preserve, right? A free market mentality. If Daily Wire is so awful, right, and so predatory and treating their talent so horrifically, they'd have no talent, right? Then literally, Steven Crowder wouldn't have to launch a war. He just have to launch an alternative business with better contracts, and people would leave willingly. They would say, there's more money there, there's better treatment, I'm leaving. That's how the free markets work, right? Because he did not feel, maybe he's feeling a little insecure. He thought that he was a free agent. He feels like he's Tom Brady. Everyone's going to make me all these offers, and he felt like it came in extremely low. Tom Brady. I'm Tom Brady. Why am I getting offered $50 million? I should be offered $140 million. And the team says, no, thank you, Tom Brady. And then he goes, well, I'm effing Tom Brady. Well, the truth is, I think Steven Crowder was feeling insecure. I think he was reeling after those negotiations. I think there are very few conservative networks that can offer him that money. He's actually...
Yo, man, projection is fucking hard on this one. But again, hey, man, we're seeing a pattern right here. And it's not ground zero, but she was definitely honing her craft in order to really launch her strike now with all this divorce shit.
He's burned a few bridges, right? Fox News, he's burned a bridge. He's burned a bridge with the Blaze. How many other companies in the conservative movement does he think can reasonably afford to pay him what he thinks he's worth, right? The Daily Wire. So when he was done, I think that he was feeling tremendously insecure, right? When those negotiations failed in October or November, he stewed on it in November, stewed on it in December, came up in January and decided, okay.
Yo, that's bitch thinking right there, just absolutely extrapolated out. Even when we watch the leaked Ring camera footage, he is far more surgical and he's far more rational, which is an L way of arguing with a woman anyways. Okay, so, what is a woman? Somebody you can't argue with rationally. But yeah, the way that Steven likes to go into these conversations, arguments, or anything like that, okay? He's very A leads to B, which leads to C, which leads to D. Candace, on the other hand, is like, no, he was scheming behind the scenes. It's like, where's your proof on that? Okay, cool. You're just making it up. Maybe because that's the way that you like to play. Oh.
Okay, I'm going to have to launch my own outfit. I'm going to go after the Daily Wire. And his plot line included calling Jeremy Boring, catching him on camera. We only have seen a piece of his conversation. Jeremy is
Afterwards, after not mentioning Daily Wire at all whatsoever.
Or he tweeted that he called him like.
Oh yeah, and he already burnt the bridge at Fox. You would be out of your fucking mind if you didn't think that Fox was trying to gain a foothold in there some form or fashion. But yeah, hey man, you do you, right? You think that it's all just, oh, it's all cloak and dagger, oh yeah, stuff. Sure it is.
Like, hey, let's catch up. And now he was like, let's talk about the kids. And
how do you even know? Maybe, okay, let's say that was the conversation. How would you have additional context outside of the couple of lines that Steven Crowder had that he played on his video that he hasn't had to release any more of at all whatsoever? Interesting.
Christmas, they were friends, very close friends. Okay, Steven Crowder has said they were friends, not colleagues, not associates, not like I would say me and Matt Walsh and we're associates, but friends. He called his friends to talk about Christmas and his kids, and said he recorded him, and then dropped that recording a week later, pretending that he was doing this to be a martyr. I just don't see how people don't realize this guy is a fundamentally bad person. Like, I don't understand how this is even a debate.
The phone call thing's rough. I mean,
it's really not. I don't see it. I can understand that people think that it's bad, but when you're in these types of conversations, when you know that it's going back and forth and shit like that, you cover your ass by recording it and fucking played right into it, bro.
Of course, they're friends. With friends like these, who needs enemies? Who needs the left when we've got friends like these in the conservative movement?
I couldn't have said it better myself, Candace. Who needs leftists when we have people like this inside the conservative movement? You took my breath away right there. Holy. I think that's about as good of a place as any. I think that's probably about good. I've noticed that people have. I know that the numbers are growing and all that stuff, and you guys are very engaged in this stuff, but listening to Candace Owens makes my brain melt a lot. So I'm going to be incredibly interested to see where this ultimately ends up. And Steven Crowder, yeah, it's going to be appointment viewing on Monday, okay? 100%. And fucking Christ, it's hot in this place right now. Holy, I can't. It's weird, the electricity in this place. I got the computer going, I got the monitor on and all that stuff. If I put on the air conditioner, which, oh, did I mention, this is the nicest day it's been outside. It's 24 degrees Celsius, which is, I think, like 70 or whatever your guys' funny temperature in the United States is. It was 24 degrees here at the fucking 29th of April, for Christ's sakes. Like, holy shit. There was a handful of days that was like 24 or 25 or higher all summer last year, but it was like this today, and it's only supposed to continue to climb up and hit like mid-20s throughout the rest of the week. So it's going to be beautifully warm up here. So on Tuesday, when we run this stuff back, which I know there's going to be developments, and there's going to be some Landau shit over top of this as well. So yeah, I got a fan that's just off there. It's kind of loud. It's one of those nice Dyson ones that's also a heater at the same time, because this little place also gets very, very cold in the winter. It's Grand Prairie is such a wonderful place. I've got screenshots on my phone of the hottest day, just about 50. It was 45 degrees outside, which is just about 100 degrees Fahrenheit. And then I also have a screenshot of when I was outside running earlier this year, which it's so wild to think over the course of just a few short months, or 4 months time, because it was right around Christmas, it was 50 below. I couldn't even see to the other side of the intersection. The ice fog was so thick, and there's a couple of videos that you can notice where I couldn't really move, like my lip was frostbitten. It just kind of developed a bit of a twitch. Fucking fun times it's up here, but it's hot as balls up here. But I also want to interact with you guys. So if you guys have any questions or comments, or if you need some gaps filled in when it comes to this Crowder, Daily Wire, Candace Owens stuff, because my theory on this one, Daily Wire, they clearly 100% knew a lot about the shit that's going on behind the scenes. Fucking fresh of all people from Fresh and Fit knew about this behind the scenes. Knew about this from months ago at this point, and Time and Rumble knew about it, and the Daily Wire knew about it as well. Think about this. Think about who else would know. So if they knew, Candace was alluding to it, Crowder called it out, and then once again, following the exact same trajectory, following the exact same plot line, Candace takes it personally, drums up all of the drama, left Steven to clean it up and ultimately become much more successful off the back of that. So I'm going to take a look at the chat right here. Shout out to you guys for turning out. I think we have, like, between the two channels, yeah, just about 100. Seeing a bunch of different stuff, yeah. Her contract says it all. She totally got taken. She got taken for that bad fucking contract. And I think I seen, who was it out the time that I was watching? I can just go to the camera on this one. Yeah. No. At the time, I think it was Nick Rekieta, who really blasted that shit out that said that, oh yeah, Candace realized in real time that she signed a really bad contract and now she's definitely coping with it live on air. Yeah, 100%. That was definitely what the fuck was going on. I can pull up both of the streams right here. Got the Rumble. I got the Rumble chat. Shout out to you guys. 60. This is fucking wild to see this many people turn out for this. Okay, like I've got, yeah, between the two, 93. Yeah, 94 people. I think we peaked over at 100 between the two channels, and that's fucking wild. I didn't anticipate that at all whatsoever. Shout out to you guys, and for everybody that's new here, hey, I think that was somebody, Jenny. Was that Jenny over in the YouTube side of this? Just first coming across this. Hopefully you were entertained, and to everybody else who showed up as well. Shout out to you guys. Yeah, Ricky is simping hard for Candace. Who am I missing? Some creep in the YouTube chat. How do we hate? Oh. Now what? I'm curious. Am I married? Nope. Pity the poor woman if you are. Oh, that's nice. Why would you say that? Just interesting. Hope she takes him for 65% of his wealth, and he pays child support so the children are 18. Oh, okay, so you're just a bad faith actor. Fantastic, Mark. Good for you. The appropriate given name, Mark. Very much so. But yeah. Why would I get married anyways? What would be the what is the benefit for a man to get married in today's day and age? Go ahead. Elaborate. I'll wait. I got to the top of the hour. Let's entertain a brainlet who wandered in from the wild. Looks like a Daily Wire attack. Oh, 1000% Gizzy. 1000%. Daily Wire's just big mad that Steven Crowder succeeded without their all of their backing that's out there. Yeah, Matt, weirdos. Exactly. See? Now, all of a sudden, our guy is just, he's just so fucking quiet. Ain't it nice? Ain't it great? Ain't it great? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Let's go back. Yeah. He's simping hard for Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what you're talking about there, Brian. Yeah. He's simping for Candace. Yeah, exactly. Hey, man, don't you dare criticize our black queens. You can't be doing that. Man. Hey, man. Oh, Mark's all quiet. Sorry, I didn't give the attention that you were looking for earlier. Sucks to suck, I guess. He is the Hey, that's one of my Eliza friends right there. Yeah, Matt. Yeah, exactly. It's the gang stalker. You fucking well know, right? Yeah, man. What is a gang stalker? That's gonna be the next. That'll be the next thing that gets put out by Daily Wire, folks. Cupcakes. Yeah, I think Blair could take her. Oh, that didn't end up going through. Oh yeah, god damn it. Yeah. As cupcakes and cameos. You're not that cupcake, are you? Of course not. Oh, I don't think Roger's here. He won't remember that. But yeah. No, anyways. Yeah. I think Blair White, because I probably listened to as much Candace Owens as I have Blair White, and kind of agree with Blair White more than I do with Candace. And again, it's like, even the Daily Wire folks, for as much shit as I give them, like, we agree on a whole hell of a lot of stuff. It's just their execution when it comes to this stuff. It's really not great. It's not great at all whatsoever. We just fundamentally disagree on the fact that the world has changed. The world has fundamentally changed, man. Oh, it was Terry. It was Terry I shouted out earlier. Yeah, exactly. Tatum is full simp for That sucks, because if that's Ben, if you're Ben, Ben on the YouTube side, if you're still there, Officer Tatum, he's another guy who has really good takes. I've seen some of his content, but yeah, no, exactly. If he's simping for Candace, I think they did some Blexit stuff as well. He's pretty based, but yeah, that's also what happens when you get a blue-pilled alpha that's out there. You might be incredibly good on one aspect, but hey, man, it just goes to show you that if you aren't well versed in female nature, you will get taken down. Like, that's just a fact of life. I've seen Jen come through earlier. Shout out to you. Hey, been missing from the past couple of live streams. Make sure you turn out for those. Ryan S. Hey, I didn't... Yo, man, you were big active in the chat. And sorry I couldn't be more active with you guys throughout all this stuff as well. But yeah, Terry, yeah, really great. Hey, shout out to you. Okay. Someone shouted you out on... I don't know who that... Artemisia. Shout out to them as well. I don't know. I've never heard of that channel before. Don't take this as an offense to anybody if you guys are aspiring content creators or anything like that. I'm so engaged with the shit that I do that I have very little time for anything else. Like after this, I think I might put on like actually I don't even know. Like I want to watch the end of House of the Dragon. Like I already know how episode 8, 9, and 10 end, but I'm on episode 8 and I've been there forever. So yeah, especially when it comes to fiction, like I don't really watch fiction and all that shit. So if I miss anybody, yeah, Blair has a more feminine voice. Yeah, that's fucking hilarious. I'm gangsta. You know what, Dark? That's all right. That's all right. Okay, I appreciate that. Yeah, I am the whole gang. You are the whole gang. Exactly. You're gang. But what the fuck was I talking about? Yeah, marriage has some benefits to it, but at the end, oh my god, this asshole's back. But at the end of the day, it's just dating. Yeah, no, and again, like, long-term relationships, okay? As long as the man's in control of the relationship, okay, he's leading the relationship, things are going to be great. Oh, right, yeah, I was talking about content that I was creating. I'd like to actually give you guys a recommendation I think is incredibly good as well. Fresh and Fit, right? Like I talk about that probably because it's the content that I watch the most. And recently, I haven't been all that interested in their after-hour show, mostly because just hearing these bitches run back and forth the exact same mid-wit takes on shit where it's like, oh well, it's 50-50 and it's complicated. It's both the man and the woman. But last night they had an incredibly good panel, and conservative girl was on the panel. Isabella Riley. If you guys are on Twitter, you've probably seen her with takes before, and she was on the panel, and it was incredibly good. It was incredibly good takes that were out there. So yeah, I would recommend it if you guys want to catch that type of content. Myron was completely on form. Everybody was great, except for Chris was incredibly annoying, but Chris is going to be Chris anyways. So yeah, I would recommend that. I thought it was really, really good. Okay. Okay, I forgot I was trying to DM you on Twitter, but it won't let me. That's, let me just see. I'll make sure that I have DMs open, because hey, if you guys want to get a hold of me, please, just, Twitter's probably the easiest. If YouTube had any sort of, communication shit in the background, you know, definitely. Let's see. Settings and privacy, my account. Let's see, DMs. There we go. Direct messages. Allow requests from... Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, filter low quality. Yeah, no, okay. So yeah, dark should be open. Should be open there. You can give it a chat there. Artemisia. Okay, I'll have to check out that Artemisia stuff. Yeah, no, I just don't know. I just don't know who that is. Blue politics. Oh, okay. Mark, I think we probably got off on the wrong foot. Okay, yeah. Hey, I mean, hey man, if marriage works for you, I've just definitely got different boundaries. Okay, like it's tough. It's tough to find anybody who's going to be worthy of marriage. Okay, like. Them hoes be hoeing, okay? That's 1000% true, and yeah, I know how I run, completely hard and fast, and I don't need somebody who's going to fight me. I don't need somebody who's going to fight me every single step of the way. I don't want no strong, independent woman, okay? I understand that I'm going to have to get it out the dirt at some point in fashion like that, but I would rather sculpt something out of granite than out of mud, and the stuff that's around here, there's a whole lot of mud. So if marriage works for you, as long as you can keep the frame, 1000%. I just don't see any benefit to it at all whatsoever. But yeah. Yeah, that's open right there. I don't know who Defango is, but he's following me. Defango, he was actually, funnily enough, Dark Meta brought it up earlier, Gang Stalker. He was the guy who was alleged to be, yeah, he was actually the first person to put out that thread on Eliza Blue, so, he's good. That was funnily enough. I think he retweeted one of my videos before. I shouted him out at that point in time. When you're 70, will you be running as hard as fast? Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably until it's all said and done, to be completely honest. Okay. Wasn't Defango the dude involved in the Eliza Blue stuff? Yeah, exactly. No, I'm still going to be that exact same dude, so yeah. I want a first mate, okay? I don't need somebody who's going to be constantly fighting me for a top prize because guess what? I'm leading the relationship, okay? If you want to hop on this fucking one-way, you want to hop on this train, find a spot that, find a spot where you meet. I'm just a fucking babbling mess. Try to jump between it. I was the first person to report on Eliza. Yeah, no notice. Is that true, Dark? Yeah, shout out to you then. Yeah, that Eliza Blue stuff. I can't believe, can you guys believe that was this year? There's just a couple of months, that was 2 months ago at this point in time. It's fucking wild, man. Oh, yeah, good. I was worried. Yeah. Don't do it. Yeah. What else do we got? Yeah, George. Okay, gang. Ben Shapiro. Yeah, Isabella's my favorite. Yeah. You know what? You know what's so great? You know what's so great? Let me just sing the praises of Isabella? Yeah, is it Isabella or is it whatever? George, you know who we're talking about. Okay. But yeah. No reason that you can come home. Yeah. Sorry, I just ended up reading Antibius over on the Rumble side of this. You can go to work and you can get screamed at all day long for no reason. That you can go home and be kept up all night by a wife that says you love your job more than her. Exactly. Taking for granted the fact that you went to that job to get all of that shit treatment in order to just come home and then fight another battle. Fucking why? Fucking why? Brian. Yeah, okay. Brian, over on the Rumble side, making you a mod. Okay. I need to do that. I need to do that because you got the wrench over on the YouTube side, so wherever you're at. Like I said, man, I'm an equal opportunity employer. If you're, for mods on the other side of the fence, if you guys don't have, if you don't have the wrench, if you don't have the wrench on the YouTube or the Rumble side, just let me know. But Brian, you got it over on the Rumble side now. So you need to make sure that that was bugging me for a second. That's just me being a fucking asshole. My content. I need to bring that up again. Yeah, but no, for sure. Yeah. What was I going to say about Isabella? Oh yeah, the best thing about her is aesthetically speaking, she's not that hot. Okay, like I'm somebody who doesn't really I don't find utility in the 10-point scale. It's more or less yes or no. Would you fuck or would you chuck? Isabella, yeah, she's cute. She's cute. Is she top tier or anything like that? Absolutely not. But those are the type of chicks that don't prioritize their looks like that. They aren't trying to be big on social media, even though she has a big Twitter. That happened beforehand, but now definitely she shows how you can be incredibly successful in a relationship, and that's what I would look for. That type of girl that's right there. She puts it, she put out her story incredibly well. Narcissist to the max, making it all about her, and tries to group everybody with her. Yeah, no, exactly. I'm just reading through the chats here for a second. Yeah, Crowder signed that it was legally binding. Yeah, just a memo of understand. Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah. Joe Biden. Yo, fucking best. That's one. Another great thing about Rumble as well is that you can have absolutely based chat names like Joe Biden's a pedo. Fucking great. Absolutely great. Oh, it doesn't go back all the way. Damn it. Yeah, Maximilian Cooper. I can't imagine sitting around the table having a coffee with Ben and Candace. Which one will run out of breath and pass out first? I hope both of them, and that they're sitting so close together and that they both pass out at the same time and that they clunk heads together. Ben would probably survive because he's got the little cushion on his bald spot. So, oh yeah, and Candace has got the bun as well. So unfortunately, no mutually assured destruction. That kind of sucks, but yeah. Let's see, we got anything over on YouTube side? YouTube side. Exactly. Noisy pub shame. There aren't subtitles. There will be subtitles afterwards, Mark. That's for true. Seems like a year ago now. Yeah, exactly. The Eliza Blue stuff. That stuff was wild, but I haven't seen that bitch do anything. We should just check. Just for old time's sake, okay? I want to check for old time's sake. Oh, let's see. Bring everybody in the fold on this one. Eliza. Oh, she lost her blue check mark, so she's not simping for Elon Musk anymore. That's fucking wild. What the fuck? Oh. Yo, what the hell? Okay. It's been a minute. I haven't checked on her in a long fucking time. Okay. Reminder, a minor. Sex video. Okay. It's wild how much suffering and beauty. Oh my god, dude. Yo, this shit ain't hitting quite like it used to, huh? It's wild how much suffering and beauty can exist on one planet at the same time simultaneously. Yeah, somebody's just trying to put out that fucking pseudo-psychological babble in order to just drum up anything, okay? Like, yeah, a lot of people see your shit. You've got, yeah, 250,000 subscribers. Nobody's engaging with your stuff. Yeah. 18 likes, 3 replies. Yemen needs more attention. Well, you're supposed to be an advocate, okay? It's your responsibility to give it that attention. I feed, dry, wet food, water. Oh, and change the litter pan. Oh, she's just reconciling the fact that she's going to be just a bitchy cat lady. Sucks to suck, I guess. Been very cautious of legislation that promises. No updates on the Andrew Tate civil cases that you were filing with all of your survivors. Yeah. God, she's just terrible. Oh, okay, cool. It's brutal, hard, sob. Yeah, see, this is all the good work that she does. God, she's fucking pathetic. But yeah, no. Make sure that, yep, no, you guys can all hear me and all that shit anyways. But yeah, we are actually right at the top of the hour. So if you guys, yeah, last call for questions. But outside of that, man, thank you very much. Thank you very, very much, guys, for tuning out on this one. I appreciate that. Eliza seems to be laying low. Yeah, exactly. Laying, we know what the orientation would be. Look at those engagement levels on her. It's Barack Obama's level of engagement. Shit. I really went off on Cashman over his gonzo journalism excuse. Oh my god, Rookie, were you following at that point in time? Fucking oof, yeah, exactly. Trying to be a would-be Hunter S. Thompson, but then realizing that the only hunter he was just looking for talent. What a fucking oof. I will never let it go. I will attack her for the rest of my life. Yeah, I don't care. For real, no strong woman, 5'2" or less, and soft. Exactly. She can lay low for 20 years. Well, she's old. She'd be dead if she laid low for 20 years. And then what do we got over here? Slightly offensive. Should be coming back soon. Yeah, no, that would be great. Is Elijah going to be getting a co-host? Because that would be good. Oh, right. Yeah. And and shout out to Elijah because he just became a father as well. I thought I seen that on Twitter. So yeah, no, that'd be great. I do like his show. I like his show a lot. She has a clip that I recorded from Slightly Offensive, and she won me over from that day. Yeah. Talking about Isabella George over here on Rumble. Yeah, Isabella Riley. Without the full context, she can come across like a bunch of those other trad thoughts that are out there, and it's especially bad right now in the context of the Steven Crowder stuff. Oh, he's an evil monster, but then at the same time, yeah, just make sure that you tune in for all my based and red-pilled takes. These bitches make me sick. But yeah, just grifting because it's that meme. It's the meme that I tweet out fairly regularly. A chick just wants to wrap herself in the American flag, put on a MAGA shirt or the red cap, and then all of a sudden, all of her faults just immediately start to disappear because she's on your team. Sure she is. But yeah, no, Isabella's definitely she at least believes what she's saying. Okay, there's still reasons to be skeptical because woman, after all. But at the same time, she does seem honest. She seems honest about that. In her convictions, and her husband really seems to have a good head on her shoulders. So she won, absolutely won, 100%. Trump bragging about his jab. Yeah, no, salty sailor for freedom. Yeah, it all depends, for sure. Slightly offensive. It should be coming back soon. Would you be interested in me pushing for him to have you on? Don't have as much pull there. Hey, George, work your magic, man. I have big respect for Elijah, but yeah, no, not for it. Prick funded it all. No, he created it, but then because now we got a guy who's saying that Trump caused the vaccine, even though I'm about ready to end. But I'll entertain this for a second because I know a thing or two. Trump, his mandate included a safe, effective, and researched vaccine. As we know, and because I'm streaming over on YouTube as well, was that what was delivered? He made an edict. So, yeah, no, exactly. So, always keep the skepticism high. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What's that saying? Verify. Yeah, just verify all claims. Verify all claims. But yeah, check over one more time over on YouTube. Yeah, now Bud Light going hard with the All-American beer ads. Yeah, I'll probably take a look at that tomorrow because I got some shit as well. And then yeah, just before we kick down the door for everybody that's still around at this point in time, we just crested 3 hours, so it's about a good time to end. That's what I also said that this stream would end up running. But even still, tomorrow is the Rumble exclusive stream where we can watch some stuff that doesn't necessarily have to do with politics, doesn't necessarily have to do with the regular rank and file relationships, news, politics, everything that's above my head right there. We can talk a little sports, which I think we're going to because George posted a video, or at least a topic over on the local side, which, hey, man, if you guys want to follow over there, I'm going to try the best that I can to open it up for as many people as possible. So just to create a little community, kind of like the ones that we see in the chat here whenever we stream. Yeah, just so we can all have a congregation place. And if you guys find anything else that you want to talk about throughout the week, yeah, just go over there. Some shit to react to, especially for the Sunday stuff, which, yeah, we got the Boss Rootin'. We'll run a little Boss Rootin' clip at the beginning, and then there's something else I wanted to look at as well. But no, I think we'll probably be doing the Razor Fist Lincoln video, and the week after that, we'll do the Mike Tyson. I want to compare and contrast what the average person thinks about the Mike Tyson rape situation, and then a good documentary that I found that's about 45 minutes long that we can watch through on that. But that'll be on Rumble. That'll be next week. Tomorrow will be a little bit of a grab bag, but then also that Lincoln video exclusively on Rumble. But I'll shout it out with the videos that I do tomorrow anyway. So yeah, I've been thinking about the Rumble stocks for Monday. Yeah, that'll be interesting because, okay, yeah, you're going to have a huge turnout. You're going to have a huge turnout for Crowder's reaction to all this stuff. And then you also have Andrew Tate's return at some point in time. I can't see them going down. I haven't heard any legislation that would somehow curtail anything that's going on Rumble. And there was also some other talks that they've signed some other Twitch streamers as well. So Rumble's on the come up. That's for true. Yeah, I definitely look into it. I think it would be a good investment, but that, again, not financial advice or anything like that. So yeah, Rookie, you know what to do. Yeah. Cool. But yeah, no, shout out to everybody still over on Rumble. Ridiculous numbers that are over there. Ridiculous in a good way, by the way. And then, yeah, especially over on YouTube as well, where I know things ended up getting a little bit goofy. But hopefully you guys like the assortment of videos that came out today. I haven't been able to check or anything like that. But yeah, Rumble needs to fix to make the app better. The only thing that's missing, at least on the Android side, is the ability to super chat or whatever. But outside of that, full chat functionality. I'm not too sure about the Apple app that's over there, but no, they updated within the past couple of weeks the Android app, and she's all fucking great over there. So I can't recommend it highly enough. And yeah, man, Dark, come through. Everybody else over on YouTube specifically, come on through. Links always going to be in the description whenever it comes to every video that's out right now. So whenever I'm live over here on YouTube, I'm also live over on Rumble as well, and it's super fun. Yeah, app is way better this week. Oh yeah, way better than the past week. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the search isn't the best. Yeah, the search is definitely search is fucking goofy. That's for true. It's a little bit better if you're looking for channels, but for specific videos, it's that's a big oof from me. But yeah, thank you guys. Thank you very, very much for making Saturday the best day of the week. Okay. Yeah. Not going to give up on Rumble either, but I need to also stop looking at the chat. So I'm going to put OBS over top of it so I can actually say my goodbye. Thank you guys very, very much for turning out. Great engagement. I love to see people in the chat talking amongst each other. That's ultimately what I want to do over here. To create a little community of my own so that we can go and hopefully take over the world. How about that? That'd be great. Okay. See you guys tomorrow. I've got an assortment of videos. Not entirely sure what's actually coming out tomorrow. Might have a video. I think actually might be a praiseworthy video for Ron DeSantis. I know, right? As much as I shit on him, but he does do good stuff as governor, so we got to give him praise when he's do it as well. And then, I'm not entirely sure, but also taking a look at that Bud Light patriotic ad. But I got that one video of the Indiana bar that. Yo, that shit was fucking hilarious. But if you guys want to watch that video, put it out earlier today. And just before we went live, some 3 fucking hours ago at this point in time. So thank you for, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to spend your Saturday evening with me. I know we're into Sunday over there on the East Coast. So shout out to you guys for that. And I always appreciate it. It's completely and totally unexpected. And I love you all. Thank you all for coming through, and without a further ado, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I'm Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.